Down for Trammell, ahead for Bird. Bird stuffs it with two hands, and the Aztecs lead.
And a full NFL Sunday.
McCaffrey in the pattern. Purdy finds him wide open in the flat far side. Caught at the 2, and he'll walk it into the end zone. Goff comes right back the other way. Laporta gives him a 3-point lead with 29 seconds to go.
Throw by Lola. Nice catch. Here goes Hill. Kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Tyreek Hill. What a throw!
Turkey Week is now underway. Now, here are the guys.
Yeah! Happy Monday to those who celebrate Big Rich TD and Fletch with you. And this is a big week, man. We have some major movement in college basketball. The Aztecs are 2-time winners on the road. We'll get to that. We've got some major movement in college football. It was a busy college football weekend. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to jam into the show today on the college football front, but we have all week long leading into a regular season finale for many teams out there playing in college football this upcoming weekend. And the NFL, as bad of a slate of games as it looked like we were going to be handed yesterday, we still had a lot of intrigue. And we'll start really with the Chargers.
Good Lord.
Because you want to talk about intrigue. There is no coach now in the National Football League who has to worry more about his job than Brandon Staley. If it wasn't already the hottest seat, it certainly is now. I don't know how you cough up that game against the Packers, leading it twice during the course of the 4 quarters they played out there, but due to poor tackling, poor execution, and bad situational football, again, the Chargers fall to a team that they probably shouldn't lose to. And to add insult to injury, or injury to insult, whichever way you want to put it, Joey Bosa looked real bad after having that foot injury and carted off the field. I haven't seen an update yet, but he was carted off the field and was in tears while they were bringing him to the locker room.
Yeah, that did not look good. And that's, bad news for the Chargers, bad news for Charger fans. But you're right. I mean, the Chargers chargered once again. Brandon Staley, holy smokes, man. Get rid of this guy. I mean, he's got to go. And you know what, Rich? Heard you last night on Football Night in America, watching you on the TV there, and you were talking about the poor tackling of the Chargers. And it just could be something that they're not practicing, or it's not as an important highlight in practice. Can that happen? I mean, can that happen how is tackling not something you'd practice out at an NFL level?
Unfortunately, it's something that certain coaches take a huge amount of pride in. Like, we're going to be a great tackling football team, right? We're going to be a great fundamental football team. This is tackle football, and at very least, we're going to do that well, right? We're going to execute. We're going to carry the football and not fumble it, right? We're going to catch the football when it's thrown to us. We're not going to have drops, right? We're going to be disciplined in our tackling. We're going to hit. We're going to wrap up. We're going to bring ball carrier to the ground. Like, that's the mark of a well-coached team, because they're focusing on the fundamentals of the game. There's a lot of talent on the field. There's no question about it. The Chargers are loaded up on offense and defense, getting a little lighter there with the Bosa injury. We'll get to that. But my goodness gracious, like, when you're not wrapping up and bringing guys down, and you're a defensive-minded head coach, it really is an indictment on your staff, on your capabilities to lead men at the league level, because there's no excuse for it.
So watching the Chargers game, I got in my head about what we were going to say about it this morning on the show. And I started thinking, well, it's really easy for a few guys down in San Diego who feel slighted by the Chargers to make this big demonstrative statement about how bad they've been. So I went and looked at the numbers to back it up. If you look at total defense through week 10, so not counting yesterday's game, which the defense was bad once again, the Chargers have the second worst defense in the entire league.
Yep.
Brandon Staley is a defensive-minded head coach. Brandon Staley is credited with the Los Angeles Rams defense that won them a Super Bowl, which is why he got the head coaching job of the Los Angeles Chargers. For a guy to come in and have the one thing that he's good at be the second worst in the league, I don't know how he still has a job. TD, to your point of got to get rid of this guy, it does not make sense why Brandon Staley is still a head coach in this league. I would fire him yesterday and make Kellen Moore the interim head coach.
You lost to the Packers.
Jordan
Love had his best game ever in the NFL. He threw for 322 yards. I think that was the number. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Packers haven't had a game with 300 yards of thrown for over 300 yards since 2021. with Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, the Chargers are giving up damn near 400 yards a game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a rough watch, you know, and by the way, Jordan Love, to your point, it's Jordan Love. I mean, don't get me wrong. A blind squirrel finds a nut, you know, a broken clock is correct twice a day. Like there's going to be moments where something looks right that usually isn't.
Well, against every other team so far this year, it hasn't.
Right. He had his first 300 plus yard game against who? The Chargers defense. And like you just pointed out, this guy was hired on the basis that, okay, the one thing we're not going to have to worry about anymore in LA, well, that is defense.
Yeah, and how lucky did they get with the Justin Herbert pick? Because I promise you, if the Dolphins hadn't taken Tua right before him, the Chargers took Herbert right before Tua.
Yes,
I can't remember how that played out.
Yeah.
But how lucky did they get that Justin Herbert has worked out? And he is just treading water here for the Chargers, trying to keep them alive, trying to win games, but it seems like he's doing it all by himself.
Well, I don't know about luck. I mean, look at the Charger team. They have some players, man. I mean, there is talent on that team. They have assembled a great team, and I don't know what else you look at except the leader at this point. Going, how is this going so wrong?
And speaking of the leader, Brandon Staley got very defensive at his post-game press conference. Gave the reporters and the media a piece of his mind, definitely feeling the stress and the angst and the pressure. People obviously very interested in this team because of the amount of talent we were just talking about, or Travis, you just mentioned, TD, like the amount of talent they have on this roster and the underwhelming performances of 4-win football team. Here's Brandon Staley. He lost the team today, and that's his storyline. It's not about your defense. It's about the team. You take full responsibility, but you're shrugging off what your defense did. Well, let's talk about what your defense did. Against the Green Bay Packers, they out first downed you 23-17. They equaled your performance on third down, 50% against your defense. Total yardage, almost 400 yards. Jordan Love, first ever 300 plus yard game. That defense of yours forced no turnovers. I mean, look, the reality is the reality. And I'm not saying stats is the only metric to live and die by, but football, it gets real easy here, folks. You start to look at turnover margin. You start to look at time of possession. You start looking at the ability in certain plays to make the play that win you football games, not making big mistakes that hurt you. The Chargers are a disaster this season, and it comes back to one person. And ultimately, that's the job. I hate that it's the job for certain people who I really like and respect, and I know how hard they work. And look, I don't know Brandon Staley personally, but I bet you he works very hard. I bet this isn't for lack of effort, but it's not going well, and none of these questions have been answered on the field. And that's the only place fans care about.
Yeah, it's shocking to look at the AFC West, look at the talent on every single one of these teams and go, the Chargers are in last place in this division. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable. The Raiders have a better record than the Chargers, and the Raiders have been a dumpster fire.
The Broncos have a better record than the Chargers, and the Broncos are impressive once again on Sunday Night Football last night, man.
The Broncos have now won 4 in a row. I mean,
what the hell is going on here?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I'll tell you what's happening. It's Sean Payton and the effect of a good culture builder, or I should say a great culture builder, linking arms with a great quarterback. Look, I think it was Colin Cowherd who said it. there's no reason why Russell Wilson should have had the year he had last year. Like, if you look at it, there was no major injury. There was no major life-altering situation that occurred to him. It was really poor head coaching from Nathaniel Hackett, and it got away from them in a big way. With Sean Payton, a more deft hand, somebody who's more capable in there at the helm, it looks way better. Russell Wilson looks way better.
There was moments last night in the game where they had a close-up shot on Sean Payton, and it got me thinking back to last year when they would have close-up shots on Nathaniel Hackett, who kind of just didn't look like he knew what he was doing, especially when it came to like calling timeouts towards the end of the game. But with like 1 minute left, when Russ was going on that drive, and they were letting Russ cook, and he made a couple of big passes on that drive to win them the game last night, Sean Payton looked so confident, and it looked like it was the first quarter, or it looked like a game he was up 30-14 in, and he looked so confident calling every single play. And I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah. That's why Russell Wilson now has better stats than Patrick Mahomes so far through this season. That's why Russell Wilson kind of looks like the guy who won a Super Bowl with Seattle. It's because he has that guy on his sideline talking in his ear. Sean Payton does not get enough credit for what he's done this year in Denver.
Well, it's the other side of the ball that's making these wins happen here, not the Russell Wilson side. That Denver defense is, it's insane. I think they've given up average of about 18 points a game here over the past 4 games. Russell Wilson at times looked terrible last night. That offense really couldn't move the ball. I mean, they had 5 field goals before they got the go-ahead touchdown. I mean, to the point to where, as a Bronco fan watching this game, they were down by 2. They needed to score. They couldn't, as they were down on the 9-yard line after another Denver defense takeaway. They cannot get the ball in. In fact, they moved backwards, so they don't get the touchdown. They ended up with, that's when they brought it to 2. The Vikings got a touchdown, which increased their lead to 5. And I thought, this is a 2-score game. That's a 2-score game, and they're up by 5 because Denver can only kick field goals. But man, at the end, Russ looked confident and throws up a jump ball to Sutton, basically, and that's the winner. By the way, Jerry Jeudy cannot hold on to a football. I mean,
that drop in the end zone was so bad.
I'm driving in to do the NBC show last night, and all of a sudden, you know, the inflection of the play-by-play voice, it's like, and he's open. I'm like, who was it? Like, you know, because you don't know until they say the name. And he goes, and it hit him between the 1 and the 10. I'm like, Jerry Jeudy. Go figure.
Well,
Jerry
it was a
Jeudy.
weird play. That guy got tipped a couple times, didn't it, before it actually got to Jerry Jeudy?
Yeah, but it still landed. I mean, he hit him in the numbers.
Yeah, literally. It went through his hands to hit him in the chest.
And so the only receiver that was lined up on the left side was Jeudy. And before the snap, I said out loud, do not look left. And of course, that's where it went. I mean, like, you already know Jerry Jeudy cannot hold on to the football. If he has the ball, he's pretty good running, but he's got to catch it first. And then on the flip side, Sutton, he drops the ball every time he has it in his hands.
Just to tie a bow on the Chargers conversation we were having, and by the way, the Broncos are actually rated last in total defense, according to a lot of things, but that's because of the first 4 weeks of the season.
Well, they've given up so many points.
But this last 5 games, though, has been incredible. They've been on a war path.
When you give up 70 in one game, though, all the numbers get skewed. So effectively, the Chargers have the last defense in the NFL as we stand right now. Wow. And since Brandon Staley, since the day he's gotten hired, across all NFL teams, he's given up the 3rd most points. Defensive guru. Congrats. Halftime?
Halftime.
Yeah.
Man, it was a bumpy road on the road for the Aztecs football team. Lost to the San Jose State Spartans 24-13. The final doesn't really say how close of a game it was. Absolutely a winnable game for the Aztecs, who now fall to 3-8 on the season. And you have Brady Hoke now looking for one final win before walking away from the game for good. Announced his retirement 2 weeks ago with 2 games left to play. And looking for a win on senior night for his team against Fresno State, Snapdragon Stadium. Kickoff 7:30?
7:30, and there's a lot on the line here because San Diego State playing to get out of last place in the Mountain West. With New Mexico beating Fresno over the weekend, San Diego State holds that by themselves.
So you have San Diego State, Fresno State, the Bulldogs coming to town, 7:30 kickoff, Snapdragon Stadium this Saturday. Last opportunity to see the 2023 Aztecs on the football field. Definitely not the last chance to see your Aztecs basketball team. They've been on fire lately. So they got the win at home over Long Beach State. They go on the road to Vegas in the Continental Tires main event tournament Friday night. They topple St. Mary's 79-54 final there. They play the Huskies last night, bring them all the way to overtime and beat them 100-97. A rare offensive explosion for the Aztecs and a rare night where the defense gave up a huge number, but they end up coming out on top.
What's crazy is it's not so rare this season. The Aztecs, as we speak currently, have the highest scoring single player in college basketball,
Jaden
Ledee, who sits atop every offensive metric, every offensive rating. The Aztecs also, the basketball team, the only team in the country to be top 15 in both offense and defense, according to KenPom rankings. The only team that's played as hard of a schedule as they have, and they're sitting at 4-1 on the season. It has been an impressive couple of weeks for this Aztecs basketball team. And again, a San Diego State Aztec is leading the nation in scoring. Make
awesome.
sense.
That's awesome.
It's
awesome.
like we've teleported, right?
Yeah.
I wrote the tweet last night. It's like we're in a time machine watching basketball with this Aztecs basketball team. So you have Jaden Ledee, a big man. The offense goes through him, okay? This team sells out to play great defense. That's a rarity in basketball at the college level or the NBA level these days. And you've got millions of dollars being spent through name, image, and likeness funds on other college basketball programs. And this isn't throwing shade. It's amazing what the Aztecs have been able to do through their culture. Obviously, they're not measuring up to, like, remember the tournament last year? They were talking about Miami on one side of the bracket. They've got $3.2 or $2.3 million, whatever their NIL fund. And compared to what the Aztecs had, it blows them out of the water. Now, Brian Dutcher, he made comments this offseason. Look, we got to catch up a little bit here because this is the culture. It's changing. And obviously there's reluctance.
Spots running on our station right now, read by Brian Dutcher, talking about the Mesa Foundation.
Exactly.
There's spots read by Lamont Butler talking about Aztec Link. So they're starting to get there, but it's coming from outside the organization.
All funds that are created for the team are shared equally.
Awesome.
So these 12 or 11 or 15 or however many players are on the bench that Brian Dutcher have, everybody gets an equal share. And that's part of this. That's part of what makes this special. That's why it feels like we're in a time machine talking about the Aztecs. Awesome game last night. Really fun finish.
Felt like March.
It did.
God, it was heart pounding, man.
You know what? Speaking of that, I guess it's almost a relief where you look at this Aztec team last season and they just go on this special run. And now that wraps up, it's over. You move on to this season, and at least myself as a fan, have some concern of, what if it just all falls apart this year? What if that was just a one-off? And looking at this team going, well, hang on. This team also special. Feels good.
I need to clarify a statement. Jaden Ledee, the leading scorer through teams that have played 5 games. There's some who have played 6 that have more inflated numbers, but through 5 games, he is the leading scorer in the nation.
Well, listen, I watched a lot of Aztec basketball already this season. I plan to watch a lot more.
We got to get out to Viejas. I want those floor seats.
He is special. That he's performing at an all-American level now. That's a guy who projects well to the next level. We've seen many Aztecs basketball players obviously play in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard's one of them, but there's many who have made it. And obviously Brian Dutcher and Steve Fisher have produced many pros over their time working together. And Dutch, you got to give credit where credit's due. It's almost like the student has become the master now. Like this really truly feels like in the era of the Fisher Dutcher Fisher phase, like it's peaking. Like this is as good as it gets. It feels, you had that undefeated run when the Aztecs controlled the map for weeks in college basketball.
The
Malachi Flynn year. Unfortunately, the pandemic year where we didn't get to see that team in the tournament. You have the deep run this year or last year, but for the national championship game, this team's better. This team is performing metrically better than that team that went on the national championship run last year.
you ready for craziness with this team? And the numbers are insane if you look at all the stats. But last night they doubled up Washington in terms of free throws. The Aztecs shot 41 free throws last night, which is an insane number for college basketball. Jaden Ledee is averaging like 10 points a game from the free throw line. He shot 18 last night. Talk about men amongst boys. That's what it looks like. When you're able to draw fouls at that high of a clip for Jaden Ledee specifically, that means you're playing at a different level than everybody else, at least athletically, physically on the court, than anyone else, where they have to foul you to stop you.
Really, really fun. And he's great at the line. So it's not even it used to be hack-a-shack when Shaquille O'Neal was such a dominant big man in the NBA because there was no other way to stop him other than get him to the line because it gives you a 50-50 shot that he's going to miss shots.
Right.
Meanwhile, under the hoop,
right,
he could score anytime he wanted. With Ledee, you try to play hack-a-shack with him, it ain't gonna work.
He was perfect from the line 2 nights ago against St. Mary's.
Yep.
He was 14 of 18 last night. Like, he's winning games by himself from the free throw line.
It's so cool. It is so cool. All right, we'll get back to the NFL action on the other side. But speaking of the NFL, if you haven't downloaded it yet, you must download the Underdog Fantasy app. They have football, they have basketball, NBA, NFL season are both here. No easier way to get in on the action than Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em Game Fantasy, but you can win real money. So the Pick'em game works this way. You got to pick between 2 or 5 players, select whether they're going to go higher or lower on their stats, and then just watch the games. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5, legal in California. Ton of fun to play along as you watch your team. Okay, so me personally, I play this every single week, at least twice a week, especially during these primetime NFL games. Bob, one of our listeners, he keeps showing me these screenshots. He'll DM me on Instagram. I don't want to out how much money he's made, but he's made a tremendous amount of money this season on Underdog Fantasy. It's a lot of fun. I promise you, it's not just about making a lot of money like Bob. I mean, this guy's got a horseshoe hanging around his neck, but it's also about how much fun he's having while he's doing it. Build your dream team today. Go to their easy to use mobile app, underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with promo code XTRA, just like Bob, by the way. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Plus, new customers get a mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby. Again, you put in $10 or more, that money's doubled up to $100. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Coming up next.
Can we talk about this thing coming up next?
Yeah, we have to address something in the room. I would say the elephant in the room, but it's not an elephant.
What the hell did you do, TD?
That's next.
How can I say no? I really don't understand what the big deal is. I was at a store. I made a purchase. Now the guys are freaking out. We'll tell you about it next.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. We'll start off here with Aztecs Hoops. They come home from Vegas as the champs of the Continental Tire main event tournament. San Diego State stacking up a couple of nice wins against St. Mary's and Washington. Jaden Ledee, the MVP of the tournament after pouring in 25 against St. Mary's and 34 against Washington. He is right there at the top among many of the college basketball scoring leaders. In the NFL, busy Sunday yesterday, notable scores: Chargers falling to the Packers 23-20, Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13, Rams take down the Seahawks 17-16, and on Sunday Night Football, congrats TD, the Broncos take down the Vikings 21-20. Monday Night Football coming up tonight, Super Bowl rematch, Chiefs hosting the Eagles at Arrowhead. This Thanksgiving, Paramount Plus is serving up a tasty NFC East matchup when the Cowboys aim for another big win against the rival Commanders. It all kicks off at 4:30 Eastern. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Champ here. When I'm in San Diego, I'm always hanging out at San Diego Sports 760. With who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Yeah.
It's San Diego Sports 760. Man, doing it right here on a Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving this Thursday already. That's coming up very, very quickly. We do have some Aztecs football tickets to give away today. The Aztecs versus Fresno State, the Bulldogs. It's happening this Saturday over at Snappy. You can celebrate senior night with the Aztecs. First 10,000 fans get an SDSU beanie. Tickets and info at goaztecs.com, or just keep it locked in here to win them. So I was out shopping with the family. Was this Saturday night? I think it was Saturday evening.
Yeah, it was during the Aztecs broadcast.
Oh yeah,
because Rich was calling the game while making this business transaction happen.
Okay,
I was at breaks.
So it was an emergency trip to Home Goods because we needed some new decorations, I guess. I don't know, different
you have
decorations.
family coming in town, like
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people coming over on Thanksgiving. So I'm at Home Goods. We're walking around, and there was a large statue. Is that? I mean,
Turn one of the cameras around so
Yeah,
YouTube
hang
can
on
see
a
this
second.
thing.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
it looks fine.
So
It's fine.
I'm just gonna keep the shot on the statue for the remainder of this segment. TD and I, we can bunch up together in our in one shot.
So here's what we need from listeners today. If you're on the text line 70470, start your message with team. We need to name this nasty son of a beep. And if you're on YouTube at Big Rich TD Fletch, we need to name this nasty son of a beep. So hop on the comments and give us your best names. We need creative, we need fun, and we can actually give away some of these tickets to the best comments.
It's a large metal punch bowl. All right. I felt like maybe we needed a punch bowl.
I'm gonna go on Big Rich TD Fletch right now. I'm gonna post the video that I just took of this thing as well.
So I took a picture of myself with said punch bowl, and you, Rich, said, "Yeah, we definitely need that, no matter what the cost."
Let me throw out this scenario.
The cost was $80.
So to everyone out there, if you ever walk through like a Hobby Lobby or a Home Goods and you see these things and you're like, "Who the hell would ever buy this thing? Oh my God, it's $80. Who the hell would ever pay $80 for this thing?" We have the answer. His name is Travis Dale.
I feel like $80 is kind of a steal. I'll be honest. I mean, it's a reindeer wearing sunglasses that's also a punch bowl, which we have determined that if we filled that up with liquid, it would probably fall over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's no question.
So we're going to have to come up with something to keep that secure. What
Also, whoever designed this thing is probably sitting at home this morning and he gets the notification in his inbox like somebody purchased your item. He's probably just laughing. He's like, someone spent $80 on that?
Listen, they only had one. So
no.
I'm assuming they had a multitude.
No, I love
and everybody bottom up.
I love that reaction. No. Go on. They only have one of those? Insane.
Listen, we have it now, okay?
Yeah,
and we can fill it with eggnog.
Listen, okay, you want to hear how crazy this is? Like how I mean, I don't know if this is an indictment on us as a show or people.
Probably.
But Travis goes, "Should I buy it?" And I said, "Oh, what? I mean, like, I've never been so sure of anything in my life." He goes, "It's $80." Before honestly, before the next text message in the group text was sent, I sent him a Venmo for $40.
You did, yes. Yeah.
I mean, like, it was immediate. I'm like, no, whatever the cost was. If you had said $150, you would have gotten $75 in your Venmo account.
I put it in the cart, and then Sarah made me push the cart the rest of the time. What's wrong with that?
She was like, "Yeah, so, I will not be seen with this."
Basically, she was not as enthused as I was.
So we need everyone to name it. 70470. Start your message with team on YouTube at Big Rich TD Fletch, Twitter, Instagram. It's up everywhere. Comments. Everyone is eligible for this, but we'll give away those Aztecs tickets for the best comment of the day.
Also, it's wearing Ben's sunglasses.
Oh, the douchers.
It's got the douchers.
I would wear those sunglasses.
Yeah. I know.
That's the other part about
And I'm not saying the style isn't on point with this reindeer. Like, he's got swag out the ass, but it's I cannot believe you would purchase it.
There's no question about that.
I mean, we needed it.
We got a couple questions on YouTube here this morning, stemming off that Chargers conversation. The first one from Jesse. Who cares about the Chargers? Move on. Well, right. Jesse, I get it, and I respect your opinion. A lot of people in San Diego care about the Chargers. We see those numbers. Yeah. And then Xavier asks, Rich, what do you think the vibe in the Chargers locker room is this week?
Oh, it's not good.
No,
it's not good. Okay, so dead man walking at head coach. Everybody knows it. It's I went through this, and it's not a comfortable thing, right? Because what happens is certain players will turn on each other. You know, it's a bunch of alphas in a locker room.
Well,
right?
And not to mention your captain, one of your leaders on this team, Joey Bosa, leaves that game in tears, carted off the field. We don't know what his outlook is for the rest of the season. He could be gone for the rest of the year.
A lot of guys will who have big contracts might start taking plays off, might start making some business decisions down the stretch of the season, might start taking some games off because they don't want to injure themselves for a lost season, a season that's not going to yield any great results in the postseason. Certainly those hopes are diminishing by the moment. You know, the other side of it is you don't know if you're even going to be on this team any longer, right?
Mhm.
You know, so you start trying to make plans for the future. You can't, because legitimately, if a head coach gets fired and there's a regime change, you don't even know if you're one of those guys who's more of a bubble guy instead of like secure on the roster. You don't even know if you're going to be there next season. So everybody's walking on eggshells. That locker room is beside itself, and it starts feeling like people are on an island as opposed to being a brotherhood together.
Rich, what do you feel like if the Chargers got rid of Brandon Staley, they bring in anybody else or let somebody else, take the reins for the remainder of the season? Do they have that Raiders resurgence?
Well, okay, so that's the big question mark is, does it get better if you make a midseason change? And we don't know. We don't know, because we've seen midseason changes where things get worse, not better. We've seen midseason changes where you almost think to yourself, like, why did they fire the first guy? Good example was Frank Reich with the Colts. They bring in Jeff Saturday, and it was an absolute train wreck last year. So you can have either situation. Antonio Pierce, by the way, that was actually a really good outing overall for the Raiders outside of turnovers. They held the Miami Dolphins to 20 points in their first loss since AP has taken over as the head coach of the Raiders, or at least the interim head coach of the Raiders. But you look at it by every other metric, this team is playing really sound football. Aiden O'Connell, I think he had a little bit of that, hey, it's the big leagues now, kid. And he realized how hard the NFL is. In fact, that was part of his post-game press conference. He was like, I mean, I'm learning. This business tough. It's really hard to win in this league. And, this obviously one of those games where it's a great example. Jalen Ramsey for the Miami Dolphins picked him off twice. The game-sealing interception at the end of the game there.
Those are both kind of insane picks, too.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about athleticism. Mike McDaniel was talking about a post-game. He was like, wide receivers don't make that catch. Talking about the first interception he had. But what's clear about Antonio Pierce is that he has the ear and has the heart of every single person in that locker room. The Chargers would have to find that version within their own organization, which I don't know that they have it. I don't know if Kellen Moore has it. I'm assuming he does because the offense has played well for the Chargers. But does Kellen Moore have the same swagger, the same approach as Antonio Pierce does, and the same cachet within the locker room? I don't know.
You got to make believers out of people again, right? You have to give give people something to fight for. If they don't have anything to fight for, whether it be each other, just, the name on the front of the jersey for one last ride type of thing, which I'm sure is some of what was being communicated by Antonio Pierce to this Raiders team when it looked pretty dismal and bleak 2 weeks ago. Or find another way to motivate people. Like, hey, look, I don't know if any of us are going to be here, but play well for the name on the back of your jersey, because at home, mom and dad are watching, right? You have aunts and uncles who love you, who are supporting your career. You have all those people who helped get you to this moment. Make good on the promise that they made to you, that we're going to do everything to help you by playing the very best you can at the top of your talent. And then we'll see where we land at the other side of this thing. Whatever way you find to motivate, it has to start with belief. Antonio Pierce was able to strike that chord so far this season for the Chargers and Brandon Staley. It just has not been that case.
How many people in the Chargers locker room have already booked vacations for the day after the last season or the last game of the season?
After this one, I'm sure there were people looking up some tropical locations.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a train wreck. It's train wreck, and it's too bad because the team should be a decent team. They should be at least fighting for second there in the AFC
It's
West.
a playoff roster, but it's just not a playoff team right now.
But they say that every year.
I know.
I mean, it's every year. It's just the Chargers just find a way to charge her.
By the way, Doc Chow on Twitter saying season-ending concerns with Joey Bosa. It's a foot injury. We don't know what it is. We'll check in with Doc Chow tomorrow. We haven't had word yet from the Chargers, but Joey Bosa literally leaving sobbing in tears doesn't look good for the rest of his season.
No,
and it doesn't look like – I feel bad for Joey Bosa. Cannot seem to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I love the talent that this Chargers roster has. Joey Bosa was I believe he is one of two of the last San Diego Chargers on this roster. It's Joey Bosa and
three.
Keenan.
Mike Williams was drafted by the San Diego Chargers. He was their last draft pick.
I don't think he was.
I thought there was only two.
Yeah, I think it's just Bosa and Keenan Allen are the only two remaining who actually played games. I don't think Mike Williams, I'm pretty sure.
Fletch is doing side eye.
The fountain of misinformation.
Frantic typing.
I'm almost positive Mike Williams was drafted by the San Diego Chargers.
He was the first draft pick in LA.
Do
you know that?
I'm telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I'm telling you what I know, but you question some of these things and then you're consistently wrong. And then
Looking this up, you're not finding this information.
Damn it.
What? There we go. And
He was drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers.
yeah, just like I said.
Yeah.
Why would you question me?
Turns out that's right. Wow. Did you see the Lions had to make the fight to beat the Bears?
Man, I'll tell you, that game, for anybody who watched, I watched basically 3/4 of that game. I started steering my attention away from it in the third quarter. But Jared Goff, he looked awful to start the game.
Right?
He looked awful to start the third quarter. And then both finishes to both halves, he just turned it back on. And the Detroit Lions, I mean, good teams find a way to win, even against down opponents who you don't think should have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions, 4 turnovers in that game. They find a way to overcome it.
Yeah.
Justin Fields looked good in his return for at least for the first until the last 5 minutes of the game. Justin Fields looked good. But yeah, did they get 3 interceptions on Goff?
3 interceptions, and there was another fumble that the Bears were able to capitalize on.
The Lions were this close to covering that spread. If they didn't kick the ball out of the end zone, instead Aiden Hutchinson fell on it, they would have covered the spread, which the entire game that looked like a lock for the Bears.
A lot of people look at that like, oh, look at this big oafish offensive lineman kick the ball at the back of the end zone. Smartest decision he could have made.
Yeah, it keeps it out of play.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Out of the hands of a defensive end to score 6 points.
Like it
instead of
automatically
2.
secures the win rather than trying to get that touchdown. And maybe one of the Bears defenders jumps on it or offensive people jumps on it, and then they have a shot to still win it.
Does he get a game ball?
Probably because he's also the one who gave up the strip sack. so almost definitely not. He gets the game ball for the Lions, actually. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Coming up next, we'll stay with the NFL. The MVP race at the top of the board looks just the way you thought it should. But there are some names getting mentioned, and you're like, what? Why? How? That's next. Also, this Good Feet store has 200 plus locations around the United States and overseas. They've been in business for 30 plus years. And here's why. You walk into the store and you're feeling bad. You walk out of the store, you feel better. How do they do it? With their arch supports. So I really never thought about it, but your feet are the foundation of everything, every single thing you do. So I went into the Good Feet store and my complaints were typical of people. I mean, it doesn't matter if you've played football at the NFL level or you have a job where you're on your feet a bunch or you don't. Maybe you're sitting at a desk all the time and you're hunched over a computer screen. If you have back pain or if you have knee pain, hip pain, ankle, foot pain, these arch supports are for you because what they do is they change the way they walk, that you walk, and then slowly but surely the lower body joint pain just seems to melt away. That was my experience. That's been an experience of many. They have tremendous amounts of testimonials. You can check those out at goodfeet.com. Also, that's where you can find the most convenient location to you and book your appointment today. That's goodfeet.com. Coming up, the MVP race in the NFL yields some interesting names. We'll give them to you coming up next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. So the picture, the video, they're live. Big Rich, TD, Fletch on Instagram, on x.com. You can see us on YouTube if you want to stream the show that way. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on YouTube. But yeah, we need you to give our new friend a name. Travis was at Home Goods this weekend with his wonderful wife, Sarah.
As one would be.
Right.
Home Goods and Hobby Lobby's not safe around the deals.
No.
We spent some time there, all right?
They will mess up a Hobby Lobby.
That is a store for suckers, and Travis Dale is a sucker.
What? Wait, why is that a store for suckers?
Because you spent $80 on a metallic reindeer.
Wait, hang on a second.
That's a deal. Look, the tag's on that. I think we saved $40.
You're damn right we did. You're damn right we did. So me and Travis went halvesies on a deer punch bowl wearing doucher sunglasses, and we need a name for our new friend. It is now a centerpiece to our show.
Yeah. While I was purchasing said punch bowl, some random woman walked up and she's like, "You can't drink out of that." And I said, "What?"
She's a witch and she cursed it.
She's like, "That will poison you."
Or it's haunted to begin with. I could easily see that thing being haunted and being the focus of like the next Conjuring movie.
Why would that be haunted? It's got doucher sunglasses on.
That's a good point.
Come on.
Can't have a bad time with douchers on.
No, you can't. That is all party right there.
Now, I can't imagine those are mass produced, so that's probably one of one.
Wow. It's clearly a cast that they've poured in somewhere. Like nobody carved that thing.
How many more were there at Hobby Lobby?
At Home Goods, and there were 0 more. There were 0 more because they probably all been purchased.
We did get a tweet from Queen of the North, Carolyn Blocka.
Yep. Queen of the North.
She said, "I don't even know where to start this morning, guys. I've been a long-suffering fan, but this season is completely and utterly depressing. I'm not even interested in how the rest of the season. That's how disappointed I am." Talking about the Chargers.
Oh my God. Well, she's not alone. A lot of Chargers fans out there. A lot of Chargers haters are reveling in all this.
Like, there's some places in San Diego that are absolutely stoked this is going on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, there are so many names coming in here.
Yeah, the text line's exploding. Again, if you want to stream us also on the free iHeartRadio app, do so. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. You can find us San Diego Sports 760 is the station to listen to us live. But definitely follow us, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. And then you'll get your podcast downloaded. You can listen to us anytime you want. So the MVP race in the NFL has some of the usual suspects at the top of the list.
Mahomes,
Patrick
Hurts,
Mahomes is
Lamar Jackson.
Actually, they're tied right now. So most books have Mahomes and Jalen Hurts tied plus 300 apiece.
Okay.
Right below that, Lamar Jackson plus 350. And then there's a little separation between the first three and the next one, which is Tua at plus 525, plus 600 at certain books. Right under Tua, check this out. Brock Purdy.
Wow.
Brock Purdy.
Wow.
Is-
What's that little smirk? Yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. Right
I don't know if you guys saw.
Right here. This is this is Fletch's time.
I don't know if you guys saw.
What did we miss?
He had a perfect passer rating yesterday.
Oh, he did? And who was the last 49er quarterback to have a perfect passer
That'd
rating?
be Joe Montana.
Whoa!
So just saying, like, you saw that 76-yard touchdown pass that he had to Brandon Ayuk. That was an absolute dime, like 40 yards down the field.
Sexy play.
I'm telling you, Brock Talk is going to be a little NSFW this week. That means not safe for work, ladies.
Boy. Wear your socks. All right, check this out. It gets weirder from there. It gets weirder from there. So Brock, honestly, he's played his way onto this list. I totally get it because also remember, narrative is important with MVP races.
Right.
And right now, if you're looking at the power rankings, the San Francisco 49ers really feel like the best team in the NFC. I know the Eagles are at the top of the NFC, but the 49ers, my God.
Health dependent are the best team in the NFC.
It does feel that way.
You could make the argument best team in the league, in my opinion.
This is where it gets weird. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, what the hell?
Aaron Rodgers is
hold
in
on.
sixth place.
So
in the
I had
MVP voting.
to, like, I refreshed the website I was on 3 or 4 times this morning to make sure those are current odds.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. But I guess they're saying if narrative, like you just said, Rich, if he's able to come back and lead some sort of late charge, but again, it's a regular season award.
I don't get it.
So he's going to play, what, 2 games and get the MVP award?
Listen, if you bet Aaron Rodgers to win the MVP at plus 1,600, you are making a donation. I know he said he's going to be back.
That is true.
So update on Aaron Rodgers. He said that he's planning to be back. This is the news that broke this weekend. He's planning to be back for their Christmas Eve game.
Yeah, a few. He has just needed a few fortnights.
Which is why this is now popping up on Vegas books.
Okay.
But he's not going to win the award.
Hold on. I understand it's a season award. However, if they were just looking at percentages and he came out and just was astronomical as a QB player, I mean, it's possible he's at the top of the list.
And then check this out. Then it goes Dak Prescott.
No.
Okay. I mean, I get it, though. He's a big name.
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas
Dallas Cowboys betters. Okay. Then Josh Allen.
No.
There's been a name missing off this list.
And then finally we get to CJ Stroud.
How?
Come on now.
He's in 10th place. Am I reading? Yeah, I think he is 9 players are ahead of CJ Stroud.
Underneath Dak Prescott and Josh Allen.
That does not make sense. That does not make sense.
CJ Stroud, now don't get me wrong. He played probably statistically one of his poorer games this past weekend, 3 interception game against the
Still
Cardinals.
had like 320 yards and won the game, led the last minute drive to win the game.
But yeah, like you're gonna have. He also threw 2 touchdowns. Like,
and you know who else threw a lot of interceptions? Brett Favre.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't get it. I hope his odds increase because we're certainly rooting for him here.
I mean, maybe that's a discount. Maybe we should be betting on CJ Stroud right now.
Maybe we should. All right.
Hey, hang on.
Let's go to Vegas.
Little value. Let's see what the odds are again. I didn't even read the odds.
It's got to be more than plus 1,600.
We're at plus 2,000.
Let's do that. Actually, let's get one more punch bowl, and then if we have anything left over, we'll bet on CJ Stroud.
Name our punch bowl. Go to Twitter. Go to Instagram. We got a new friend in studio. Also, Brady Hoke with the Brady Hoke Coaches Report on the other side. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on a Monday.
We're number 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Big weekend for Aztecs Hoops. They come home from Vegas as the champs of the Continental Tire main event tournament. San Diego State stacking up a couple of wins against St. Mary's in Washington. Jaden Ledee wins the MVP award after pouring in 25 points against St. Mary's, 34 against Washington. When the National Player of the Week gets announced a little later today, I would expect Jaden Ledee's name to be the one they announce. In the NFL, busy Sunday yesterday, notable scores. Chargers fall into the Packers 23-20. Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13. Rams take down the Seahawks 17-16. And on Sunday Night Football, Broncos take down the Vikings 21-20, ending the Vikings' 5-game win streak. Monday Night Football coming up tonight. It's a good one. Chiefs hosting the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch. This Thanksgiving, Paramount Plus serving up a tasty NFC East matchup when the Cowboys aim for another big win against the rival Commanders. It all kicks off at 4:30 Eastern. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Woo! Happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, Fletch with you on this Monday morning, and we're flying so far, man. An hour has gone by. It felt like minutes. There's so much to talk to, so much to get, so much to talk about, so much to get to, including Name That Deer. So we have a brand new friend in studio.
Brand new game show.
It's a punch bowl, but it is decorated and adorned with a silver buck, I guess. It's
Yeah.
an antlered deer.
Yeah.
Wearing the same sunglasses that Coach Prime wears.
We got some good names here on YouTube specifically, but the Christmas
6-pointer.
hangover,
6-pointer.
6-point deer.
the cool guy's pet, the
Yeah.
hangover reindeer.
There's a lot of them.
How about this one?
How about Punchy?
the alcoholic?
Punchy.
The alcoholic.
the
That's not
alcohol-
bad.
Alcoholic.
I do really like this one from our buddy Jamar, though. He just out of nowhere kind of threw this one out there. Purdy Punch.
Okay.
How about that, guys? You like
How
it?
about that?
You like it?
Huh.
How about moose bumps? That one just makes me giggle.
Punch drunk Rudolph.
Buck Norris.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn it, that's good.
That's right.
God.
That is
Buck Norris.
golly. Richard Deere, Uncle Buck. This is all from Jeremy. He's just throwing them out. Lawrence Elk.
How about Peggy on
Jeez.
YouTube says the Rizzy reindeer. Yeah, that reindeer's got some
Ooh.
riz, as the kids would say.
Elka Seltzer. Goldie Fawn.
It can't be a fawn though.
Oh, yeah. I
But
get, isn't that
yeah.
a baby deer? A
No,
fawn?
Or is that female?
It's a
No, a doe is a
a
female.
doe is a
Yeah.
female. A fawn is a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
He can't be a baby.
Yeah, he's a man.
He's got antlers.
Yeah, he's a man.
Well, it could be an adolescent.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
How about the douche deer bowl? I mean, it's just right on the nose. Holy smokes.
Rudolph the S-faced reindeer.
he is.
Listen, if anybody has no idea what we're talking about, go to our Instagram account, go to our account on X, or our Twitter account, Big Rich TD Fletch. We posted video, we posted photo. We need a name for this thing, so keep them flying.
It's also taking over Rich Ornberger's camera on YouTube.
By the way, producer Shelley from Star 94.1 walked by, saw the new punch bowl here in studio, had to come in and said, "Where did you get this?" We gave the explanation as to how it arrived here, and she said that is the most necessary purchase I've ever seen.
It's like the perfect way to describe it.
So we have Bar Cart Wednesday this week instead of Bar Cart Friday because
Yeah.
we'll be off Thursday, Friday this week. But I'm thinking something needs to be chugged out of that thing.
It will poison you.
Yeah.
Well, I figure if we
somebody said it actually at the store when Travis was purchasing it, and it was just a concerned shopper. It wasn't even somebody who worked at Home Goods.
No, it
Just
was
somebody walked up-
literally the woman behind me.
Excuse me, sir, but don't drink out of that punch bowl.
Yeah.
It'll poison
Well, we
you.
call Rich the garbage disposal. Nothing affects him. He doesn't get food poisoning. He doesn't get hungover. He could chug something out of
Yeah,
it.
you're actually right. I will chug something out of that
Good.
deer.
Yeah, it's fine.
There is absolutely no question in my mind.
Fine.
And I love the way you phrase it. It was perfectly stated. I am going to drink out of that deer because it's my God-given right and it's my best ability.
I like Rudolph the S-nosed reindeer.
That's pretty
or
good.
That's
S-faced.
pretty good.
It's seasonal though.
Yeah,
You know,
that is true.
But he's wearing like a Christmas scarf.
it's also true.
well, he kind of looks like he's dressed up.
It's a reindeer. Reindeers are seasonal.
It could just be a deer. It's not a reindeer.
It's just an antlered fella.
Yeah, it's just a deer
Um,
wearing the douchers.
I want to have a serious conversation if we can. I'm
Uh-oh.
not sure if we can
Okay.
about the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh.
Okay.
You want me to sit this one out, maybe?
It's probably for the best because every time we start talking about the San Francisco 49ers, Ben's console actually raises. We're just like, wait, what's going on out there? Because I mean, it's like a tire jack.
Yeah.
Told you, iHeartRadio podcast is going to have to slap on the explicit tag for this Brock talk, man.
I mean, he
gonna
is
get
just
real
brimming
sexual.
with enthusiasm over his favorite quarterback, Brock Purdy. He might be my favorite quarterback too.
Oh, snap.
Okay, so
Wow.
CJ Stroud, take a back seat for a second.
Wow.
Because CJ Stroud was my favorite. I like the redemption arc here. I like the fact that Brock Purdy went through 3 weeks tortured by the media because he was missing his all-world left tackle. He was missing one of the greatest receivers to ever play football. Receiver / Swiss Army knife in Deebo Samuel.
Please speak slower.
He was missing. Oh, jeez. At practice, he was missing Christian McCaffrey while he was recovering from the oblique strain. And then all of a sudden he starts getting some healthy pieces back in place, and he didn't look terrible. He just didn't look himself over a 3-game stretch where they lost all 3 games, and their defense, Greenlaw was out. They had other situations going on. They come back after the bye week and they've returned to form. The San Francisco 49ers look like world beaters again. And Brock Purdy, I mean, for all of the haters, I mean, I remember listening to a podcast where Taylor Lewan got on to, I forget where he was being interviewed. He was like, look, this isn't coming from me, but I heard from somebody who knows Brock's not the guy. Like that was what he heard. He heard from somebody who knows really well Brock is not that guy. So I look, Taylor, I think he's a smart guy, and I think he knows a lot about football. Obviously played many years at left tackle in the NFL. But whatever he heard from whoever he heard it, look, you have eyes. I mean, I do too. When I watch Brock Purdy play, I don't see a ton of weakness. I see a guy who's used to playing with superstars, and when a guy's taken out of the game plan, it got a little worse. And also, he was playing hurt too. He got banged up. He got concussed through that span. They got healthier. They look great. And if we're going to label him as a game manager, what do we call Jalen Hurts then? He's got talent everywhere you look on that Eagles offense. You know, so I don't know. I think Brock Purdy is probably being slighted by people because he had a rough patch. I mean, what quarterback doesn't?
I'm going to excuse myself from this conversation. I don't think I'd be helpful here. But I will play some sound from Christian McCaffrey, who yesterday at his locker, Rich, was asked about that. He was asked about why the national media and some people around the league still throw shade on Brock Purdy. Here's what McCaffrey had to say.
I get it. Look, Brock Purdy, he looks oddly comfortable from being a last pick in the draft. So there is something special there. I mean, absolutely. But yeah, you're right, Rich. I mean, anyone who then has to, if part of the team is out, your superstars are out, and now there's a little more weight put on the quarterback, and he's got to figure some things out. It was rough. There was a rough patch. The 49ers, to me, if they stay healthy, they look absolutely unstoppable.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, coming off of back-to-back MVPs, his final season in Green Bay, people were willing to make an excuse for Aaron Rodgers. It's like, look, I mean, he's really struggling out there. Look who he's throwing to. You know, Watkins just showed up in this league. Dubs just showed up in this league. He's got no one to throw to. So we're going to make excuses for Aaron freaking Rodgers, who's one of the greatest talents football has ever seen, but we're not going to make it for Mr. Irrelevant of last year's draft, who's only just played 17 games in this league. Like, we're not going to make any excuses for him. We'll make excuses for Aaron Rodgers, who could potentially carry a team on his own talent, but we're not going to make excuses for Brock Purdy. Like, he has to win every single game for us to believe in him. I just don't get the criteria we're holding Brock Purdy to. The national media, I mean, there are people who are actually watching these games, I don't know, with their eyeballs and seeing how special this guy is. Like CJ Stroud, perfect example. We're just talking about it. He's 10th on the list in MVP odds right now. Are you watching these games?
Right.
Like, if we're appropriately assessing value, I mean, he is of more value to his football program than just about any human being playing football right now, because the Texans were left for dead after last season. 2-win season. Nobody was talking about how impressive their roster was, especially this offseason. And now you have like analysts coming on. It's like, well, he's got some help because this Texans roster has some talent. It's like, what? Well,
name some.
I mean, okay. I digress. Anyways.
Well, CJ Stroud to me is still my favorite quarterback to watch this season. I mean, it's something special. Russell Wilson is still a little rough, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm probably jaded from what happened last season because he's not bad. He hasn't been bad. However, the deep ball is not great from Russell Wilson. So they're making something happen there in Denver with some little dink and dunk passes.
So I'll stay away from positives when talking about the Niners here because I think that turns people off. But one big thing that happened.
You.
Oh yeah, full torque here, baby. But when you look at that game yesterday, there was a memeable moment in the game, and it was when Rashad White, the running back for the Bucs, absolutely juked Hufanga out of his shoes, the safety for the 49ers. So that was a meme that went viral immediately. What didn't go viral immediately was the fact that on that play, Hufanga tore his ACL.
Ooh, yeah.
So the San Francisco 49ers now missing one of their key defensive pieces the rest of the way. We've said it all the time. If this team's healthy, they're the best team in the NFL. They're not healthy right now. Missing Hufanga, that is a huge piece of your team. He was all pro a year ago from the safety position. He was having another really good start to this season. That is a big piece they're going to be missing the rest of the way.
Look, I get it, and I agree with you. And when Greenlaw went down earlier this season, I had the same feeling that you had about Hufanga. But I will say this. I do trust, especially at receiver and defensive back, John Lynch. He's done a really nice job finding players either in the depth of this team or also in free agency or in the draft that have made a lot of sense in the system that they run defensively. So we'll see what happens next with the 49ers. Right now, the way they're playing, they're the class of the NFC.
Well, and their front seven is probably the best in the NFL.
I mean, they brought in Chase Young, and it's like, did you need him?
He got a sack yesterday, man. It's like he's a different player now that he's with the Niners.
Yeah. It helps when you have Nick Bosa on the opposite side.
It does.
It's Javon Kinlaw in the middle and Eric Armstead in the middle. It's scary.
Yeah, well, Nick Bosa probably needs some help. We saw photos in the skims. He can barely move.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, geez, he is encumbered by that flesh anchor.
Guys, I'm telling you.
Say that.
I think Ben's actually getting red in the face. Like he's becoming flush.
Well, some more scores around the NFL. The Rams, they sneak by the Seahawks 17-16. Geno Smith may be out for the Thanksgiving game against the Niners with an elbow injury. And speaking of the Niners, we've been talking about it. They squeaked by the Bucs 27-14. Brock Purdy,
deeper voice.
He had an okay day. It was mediocre at best, I would say. The Bills essentially had a bye week as they played the Jets, completely stomped them 32-6. A scary situation, though, in that game. Bills defensive back Taylor Rapp had to be removed off the field by ambulance after suffering a neck injury. Waiting for an update there. Hopefully everything's okay. And speaking of scary situations, Super Bowl 54 superstar Shakira After maintaining her innocence for nearly 5 years, the pop superstar has struck a last-minute deal to avoid the risk of going to prison on the opening day of her tax fraud trial out in Barcelona.
What?
Shakira was hit with 6 counts of failing to pay the Spanish government $15.8 million in taxes between the years of 2012 and 2014.
These hips do lie.
So they did. Yeah, well, they do lie because she said she was innocent, and I guess she just decided, okay, I'm not innocent. I would like to make a deal. So she has a 3-year sentence, a suspended 3-year sentence, and a fine of $7.6 million.
This
so
is
they
why I
cut it
love
in half.
TD. I never would have known any of this,
Yeah.
Well,
but now I do.
you're welcome, I guess.
How long is she going to be in jail for?
She's not.
Forever! Forever! Sorry.
No jail time. No jail time.
I'll take a quick
Get
the hell outta here.
It's fine. That was fine. Why, that doesn't seem like a laughable offense
It's
to
a
me.
laughable offense. The fact that it doesn't seem like a laughable offense to you means you should probably take a lap too. But wait till he gets back.
That's it.
And by the way, buying this thing is definitely a laughable offense as well.
No way. Look at the joy it's already bringing to the office. And this thing you're referring to our new reindeer buck punch bowl.
I really do like
Doucher
Rudolph the
3000.
S-faced reindeer.
It's a pretty good name.
That one saw. What was the other one? The alcoholic. That's not bad.
Alcoholic is good.
Buck Purdy.
Yeah.
It's a solid
Buck Purdy.
Purdy punch.
Purdy punch.
one.
Buck Norris is pretty good.
I like Buck Norris
I
a
like
lot.
Buck Norris a lot.
For anybody who didn't grow up in our generation and you missed out on Chuck Norris movies, just do yourself a favor. I'm sure they're on YouTube. They got to be.
At least the best scenes
Right.
of them all are.
God,
Yeah.
By the best, I mean worst.
they're so good.
Yeah.
But they're like great, bad, good movies.
Exactly correct.
It's
Speaking of bad, good, Primetime has given us a lot of bad, good this year. Some good, bad, some bad, good. Tonight, on paper, should be like the class of primetime for the entire season. When the schedule came out, everyone circled this game as like, oh, this is the one. It's a Super Bowl rematch from a year ago. It's the top of the NFC versus the top of the AFC. Chiefs, Eagles at Arrowhead. The environment will be insane. The Kelsey Bowl, once again. Taylor Swift, I don't know if she's going to be there or not.
how could she not be there?
Well, isn't she?
She's in Argentina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone
Or
just died at
Brazil.
one of her concerts.
Oh, Brazil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Oh,
they
yeah.
had a
It's
heat
too
stroke or
hot.
something.
It's too hot.
It was like 120 degrees.
That seems
And then when Taylor Swift came out, it was like 150.
Travis, someone died.
Well,
Oh,
they actually, so the venue didn't allow people to go in with water.
yeah, that's dumb.
So the venue trying to gouge people for water obviously led to dehydration.
Great.
So anyways, so Taylor Swift might be busy, but Travis Kelce needs to get busy. His last outing wasn't all that great. And then
Stinker.
you have 15 days though for Andy Reid to prepare for a game against the Super Bowl contenders, the Philadelphia Eagles. Little fun fact, Andy Reid has never lost a Chiefs-Eagles battle. This is both when he was head coach of the Eagles, head coach of the Chiefs now.
That's a cool stat.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's an interesting
That's
one.
the Chuck Norris of stats today.
That's right. It's got a beard and a roundhouse kick.
Do you
what
know when
else
Chuck
can I
Norris
tell you
does
about
push-ups, he actually pushes the earth down?
That's right.
Huh? Yep, I did know that.
That's right.
That's never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking singular push up.
This Chiefs
Fine.
defense is pretty good.
The problem that we have here is we look at this primetime game that on paper this is supposed to be fantastic. Have we had one yet this season that was supposed to be great that was?
No.
Right. It's always been
Yeah.
this one's going to be a stinker.
I mean,
And
Lions Chiefs was really good to start the year,
was that one supposed to be good? I was thinking the Chiefs were going to roll the Lions.
but they didn't, which made it good.
So the Chiefs are favored here 2.5 points, which means on a neutral field, the assumption is that the Eagles would be favored.
Right.
Arrowhead, again, coming off a bye week. Andy Reid, super tough coach to prepare for coming off of a bye week. The Eagles, who are 8-1, better record than the Chiefs, who are 7-2, but have looked shaky at times. The Eagles have, and even in wins, a lot of them, it just feels like, it's a toss-up. Who is going to finish this game? Now, you could credit them for finishing a lot of close games on top, and I do, because winning is everything in the NFL. However, when we're talking about individual matchups, it matters. And I give the edge to the Chiefs in this one.
I got the Chiefs rolling in this one. I told you guys about that pool that I'm a part of where you have to pick against the spread and it's however many points the spread is covered by. that's the amount of points you get. I took the Chiefs this week because I'm expecting them to roll. I really am.
Well, the Eagles don't look like the Eagles of last year. They don't look like they're. What happened?
I don't know.
You okay?
Ben
What?
just lost
He
his
just-
coffee.
Wrong
in a big-
pipe?
Yeah.
Oh. But I was like, did I say the wrong team again?
It looked-
Who did I say?
I thought
What?
Ben just hurled. I was like, good
What
lord.
it looked like. Wow, choose to live, buddy. No, the Eagles don't look like the same team as last year, so it doesn't look like it should be as close. But I mean, the Chiefs don't really look like the Chiefs of last year.
I will say this: the Eagles also, like, one of the things you could say about the Eagles last year is that defense was so fired up every game, getting after passers. So their pass defense was really difficult. This year, they ranked 22nd in pass defense. It's been, I mean, you could really say it's the worst defense in total against certain positions. Like, if you see how busy tight ends get against the Eagles, like, just go through like the fantasy stats of
Almost
tight ends
just died.
who face the Eagles. They're all like having like bonkers games because they just don't defend tight ends well. And I mean, what do the Chiefs have? Well, I don't know. One of the best tight ends who's ever played football.
True.
So-
But he needs Taylor Swift there.
It's also true.
Yeah.
And he was oddly uninvolved in the last outing. He had like 4 catches for 14 yards
It's
last
just
time the Chiefs
depressed.
played.
Depressed. They should get a cardboard cutout of Taylor and just put it up in the box. See if they can fool him. See if he can gaze at her and his loving eyes.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys seen this. So recently, all of the, whatever it is, whatever you follow, Sports Center, ESPN, Fox Sports, they've all done it. They're all putting out old tweets from Travis Kelce. Have you come across
It's
it?
bizarre.
Yeah.
They're not even that funny.
No, they're not. And they're also all misspelled.
Yes.
It's like picking on Travis as an 18-year-old kid when he was still living with his parents playing baseball.
Jimmy Fallon did a whole song about it.
I think it's dumb. I'm like, what? Just because this dude's going viral, we're doing every single thing we can to include him in every single thing we do.
Yes, that is correct.
That's right.
That's how that works.
And that's the reason why we're naming our new punch bowl the Travis Kelce Memorial Punch Bowl.
Because he's dead to us.
Because his name needs to be. Yeah, maybe we should name it after Taylor Swift.
Hey, okay.
Figure
All right.
something out here. Okay.
Look how unhappy Fletch is with that.
Kind of looks like Taylor Swift.
We have to
What?
break. Now
Why
we have
does
to
that
break.
look like Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
By the way, if we are going to deep fry a turkey tomorrow, we need to thaw out a turkey today.
We gotta thaw out that bird. I'm buying a bird after work today.
Oh,
so yeah.
One of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, trust me, we'll have a bird. All we need now is a vessel to fry it in.
We got to get that deep fryer, then figure out how to use it.
Yeah. We're gonna be learning on the go like normal. All
It's
right.
fine.
Really quick before we break, want to talk to you about the Good Feet store. 30 plus locations around the United States and overseas, 200 plus locations around the United States and overseas, 30 plus years of experience. The Good Feet store, they really helped me. They really fixed a lot of problems that I had going. Lower back pain, certainly a ton of knee pain. I had hip pain coming on the right side. Like, it got to the point where some days I was like, maybe I'm going to need a surgery on this hip. This is really bad. Playing golf was like a big problem for me. I'd wake up the next day feeling like trash. Just my back was all wrenched and torqued. My knee always hurt. But ever since going to the Good Feet store, I put these arch supports in my shoes and all of a sudden I feel like a different person. And really, it's not all of a sudden, it's a little gradual, right? So the first week I'm like, is this really working? Second week, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Wear them for a month. It gets even better. Wear them for 2 months. Now I'm up to close to 2 years. I've been wearing these arch supports and I'm not looking back, and neither should you. If you have back pain, hip pain, knee pain, foot pain, ankle pain, check out the Good Feet store, goodfeet.com to find your nearest location and book your appointment today. And coming up next, he's the head coach of the San Diego State football team for only one more game. Brady Hoke joins us on the other side. Coming up next, the head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, Brady Hoke, updates us on last week, and we look ahead to his final game on the Mesa.
This update is presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Big weekend for Aztecs Hoops. They come home from Vegas as the champs of the Continental Tire Main Event Tournament in Las Vegas. San Diego State stacking up a couple wins against St. Mary's and Washington. Jaden Ledee named MVP of the tournament. He had 25 points on Friday against St. Mary's, 34 against Washington last night. In the NFL, busy Sunday yesterday. Notable scores: Chargers fall to the Packers 23-20. Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13. Rams took down the Seahawks 17-16. And on Sunday Night Football, Broncos took down the Vikings 21-20. Monday Night Football coming up tonight. It's a good one. Chiefs host the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch at Arrowhead Stadium. And the head coach of the Aztecs football team, Brady Hoke, joins us for a final time coming up next. This Thanksgiving, Paramount Plus is serving up a tasty NFC East matchup when the Cowboys aim for another win against the rival Commanders. It all kicks off at 4:30 Eastern. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
We're getting the latest Aztecs news from the man in charge. This is the Brady Hoke Report, driven by the San Diego Toyota dealers. If you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota, make sure to visit Toyota.com. There you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory. We make it easy.
Rolling through a Monday here, and a bittersweet as we look forward to a final game here from the Aztecs taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs, and our final talk here with Coach Brady Hoke. Coach, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Oh, we're hanging in. We're hanging in. But, I mean, how are you feeling? What are the emotions like right now as you head into this final game for you?
Well, right now the emotions are if we can stop first and second down and play better defense. So that's where we're looking at right now. But, I don't know. It's just trying to be as normal as possible within the context of getting our senior class and those guys having a legacy, getting the old oil can back to San Diego.
Coach, when you look at that game on Saturday night, I think everyone expecting coming in, Kyrie Robinson was going to be the guy for San Jose. He's been lighting up the entire league. You guys actually do a really good job slowing him down, and then Conley comes out the backfield and has the monster game. Did that catch you by surprise at all?
Well, I don't know if it caught us by surprise because Conley was a pretty good back. We watching him also. I think both of them. I think one's more physical than the other, but it all goes back to us, doing a little better job tackling and leveraging the football. I think that part of it, and we just gotta play through it better and do a good job.
Coach, so the travel was a little dicey getting home. We were sitting on that tarmac for a while with a broken plane, and then late return to the Mesa. Look, obviously when you're traveling locally, normally you're not expecting to get back at some part of 4:30 or 5 in the morning. Does this mess up the game week at all for you guys? Anything change from a schedule standpoint?
Well, I don't think so, Rich. I think, as coaches, you're going to put your effort in, your time in. On Sunday for the players, they really come in and they check in with the trainers, and some of them need treatment and all that. So with them, I don't think it's as bad. For the coaching staff, we're kind of used to it. You never know what you're going to get. If you've coached long enough, and there's some guys on the staff who've coached long enough that, we've had a lot of cross-country trips, trips to Hawaii. And so you get back late, and the technology, Rich, has helped. When you think about, we've got our iPads, and we get on the plane, and they've got the game all on the iPad, so you can grade it, get a good look at it, and then try and get some sleep after that.
Coach, let's try to turn the mic on. It's better when I talk with the mic on, Coach. Coach, this is the battle.
That's not always true.
You know what? Point taken.
That's weird. We hear that about our show a lot.
It's better if it's in silence. This weekend's game is the battle for the old oil can, and we were talking about this earlier. Do you know the story of the old oil can?
Yeah, I do. Probably not verbatim, but it was something about getting over the grapevine, coming from Fresno to San Diego to play. They needed to have take an oil can, because during the trip going up the mountain in the grapevine, you had to have a little bit more oil for the bus.
No, the bus burned up oil.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of what I know of it, and I tend to believe it.
Well, what's so funny is Uncle Ted Leitner, who's been on the call for many, many years, he was like, I believe that instead of Gatorade, they used to drink motor oil. That is exactly how they hydrated. Of course, this is in the days of Bear Bryant and, of course, Joe Paterno. And he would go on. I'm just like, Ted, that doesn't sound right. Trust me, Richard, I've been around for a very long time. Very long time.
It's the days when men were men.
They would drink oil, motor oil, and they'd eat salt. That's it.
Hey, if anybody's going to know it or have a good story for it, it's going to be Teddy.
There's no question about that.
And even if the story is completely false, it'll sound good.
Yeah.
Coach, but when you look at this game on paper, Fresno State to start the year, they looked like world beaters. Looked like they would walk through the Mountain West pretty easily. Over the last couple of weeks here, San Jose State ran all over them, and then New Mexico this past weekend gets the win over them. So when you look at this game, it's extremely gettable. For your last game here on the Mesa, what's it going to take for you guys to get a win?
Well, I think it goes back to the usual things. If we can run the ball, specifically like we did last weekend against San Jose, if that running game can get matched up with a good play action game, and then defensively, we gave up 4 big plays, that we call big plays, 15-yard more on a pass or 12 more on a run. And we gave up 4 plays that, really changed the outlook of the football game. And so we just got to go out there. We're going to play, Aztec football. We're going to play for our seniors. And we're going to play as hard as we can and coach as hard as we can for those guys.
Hey, last question from us today, Coach. This is your final game as a head coach at San Diego State. Is this one, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but I'll ask the question anyways, a bit more meaningful than all the rest?
You know, the right answer probably is yes. But, you know, going into it and finishing, football career that I've really enjoyed, a coaching career, because of the young men you get to coach, and you know there's thousands of them out there, and I think that's what I'll think about.
There you go. There you go. Brady Hoke, head coach of the San Diego State football team. One last ride this weekend, Fresno State, Saturday, Snapdragon Stadium, kickoff at 7:30. Coach, can't wait, and wishing you the best of luck in your final game on the Mesa.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
You bet. You bet. We appreciate you too. There he goes, Brady Hoke. And that coach's report is brought to you by your San Diego Toyota dealers. If you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota, make sure you head over to toyota.com. There you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory. We make it easy. And we've got some tickets to give away.
Yeah. If you want to go see the Aztecs take on Fresno State this Saturday, Snapdragon Stadium, celebrate senior night with the Aztecs. First 10,000 fans, by the way, get an SDSU beanie. Tickets and info, go Aztecs.com. You can
name our deer.
Oh, name our deer.
That's right.
Okay.
If you want to go to San Diego State against Fresno State, you got to name our deer.
That's right.
By the way, first 10,000 fans get San Diego State beanies.
Yep. Oh, you are not going to get the Deer Punch Bowl. That is ours. You'll get those beanies if you show up.
But they get naming rights.
But you do get naming rights. So the text line is already filled up, but if you want to weigh in, just check out our Instagram or Twitter account first, Big Rich TD Fletch. There's video and photos up of our brand new Punch Bowl deer. It's got antlers. It's got doucher sunglasses.
Catching up on some of these names here on YouTube. Brandon says the OG Bullwinkle.
My gosh.
Yeah,
Harris,
good.
the Swifty Stag.
Bullwinkle.
The Swifty
Stag.
Brandon says better Swift Kelsey combos on the Eagles. Thank you, Brandon. Paris also saying the Brady Bowl.
From the 619, doucher McDeerface.
I like it.
Jeremy,
we're getting warmer.
Jeremy from the 913. Dustin Hoofman.
Oh my God. Buckleberry Finn. Buckleberry Finn. All right, listen.
Oh my
If
goodness.
you want to win Aztecs tickets, it's quite simple, folks. You need to name our antlered punch bowl. Okay. So get at us 70470. Start your message with team on our text line. You can comment on any of the photo or video up at Twitter or Instagram, Big Rich TD and Fletch. Okay, we got to get back to the NFL weekend slate of games. We will on the other side. Big Rich TD and Fletch.
Sports 760 with who? Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Whammy!
It's my favorite.
John Fink just came in the studio and he's like, I have a name. However, it's not very Christmassy. Chalice in Wonderland.
It's pretty good.
It's a pretty good name.
So John Fink, Kogo Newsman, you hear his voice over there on our sister station, coming in hot with a strong contender for name of the day. So we have a new antlered punch bowl. It's a deer, and on that deer's head is a punch bowl.
Yep.
And the deer is wearing, I guess, ski goggles or sunglasses.
I don't know. They look like Fletch's sunglasses. They look like the Duscher sunglasses.
They're so good.
Yeah.
They're
I mean,
so
that's solid. Also got a text from producer Mike Usher.
Yeah. What does he say?
Phillip Rivers, born in 1981, has produced more children than the Chargers franchise has produced playoff wins in that same time span.
Oh my God. Oh
Now,
my God.
He does have 10 children.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we're talking 42 years.
That's oh my God. 42
So Phillip
years.
has finally gotten there. Phillip plus his kids equals a full offense.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty much.
hey,
Yeah.
how about that?
Yep, he can field
He
the
can
full.
do it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I wonder which of his kids are going to be the offensive line. That's kind of like an offensive question to ask. You know, I mean, if you really think about
Hey,
it.
Phil, which of your kids is fat?
Yeah. You got any overeaters in the crew that you could just stick in front of you, protect you? And you know he's going to go out there and he's going to be playing. Yeah, the new trend on TikTok and Instagram Reels is people posting clips of like Ray Lewis, and they're like, "This is me Thanksgiving morning for the turkey bowl, all gassed up on 19 Coors Lights when my cousin just said, hey, we're playing in 5. And it's just Ray Lewis just lighting people up.
Two-hand touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's like Tom Brady back in 2007, or no, I guess it would be 2007, like winning a Super Bowl.
Who
like
was
this-
that Cleveland running back that had 1 year? Was it Peyton Hillis? Was that his name?
Hillis,
Who just wrecked the league for one season and then disappeared off the face of the earth?
Dude, do you remember the most recent news article about that guy?
No.
He almost drowned saving his children.
That's right.
Yeah, he survived it. He survived the whole ordeal. But
some of his highlights from his playing days, like I think it was like 2006. It was 1 year where he took the league by storm.
He was on the cover of Madden the next season.
He was trucking everybody.
It was like the reincarnation of Mike Allstott.
Well, it was a
insane.
fullback who ran a 4.40 and would just sprint through whatever defenses had to throw at him.
Absolutely insane. By the way, I wasn't really interested in watching any of the F1 racing, but it was impossible to avoid it on social media this weekend. Did either of you guys watch any of it?
No, not 1 second. I did see some photos from space though, and the cars making the circle of the track or the shape of the track. You could see a glow from space. It was bizarre.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
There was a lot of viral moments to come out of it, and
Sure.
most of them were negative.
That is correct.
So some of the stories coming out of employees at various restaurants or casinos around the strip talking about how their drive into work got extended by 45 minutes, sometimes more. Some restaurants being completely empty when they were expecting to have record weekends because of the way the track was set up. It actually blocked off people's ability to get into some of these restaurants.
yeah,
Because a lot of people will take the week of Thanksgiving off and they'll go to Vegas to vacation. And I'm sure a lot of those restaurants, they count on this week. Like this weekend is huge.
Apparently it was a massive pain in the ass for the economy in Las Vegas,
my
where
God.
they hired extra staff for this weekend to be prepared for the influx of people. And the people who came couldn't get to these places.
yeah, and the people who did go paid an insane amount
Absurd.
for tickets. So ticket sales, I don't think were as high.
No, they
as
had to
wanted.
lower prices to next to nothing for
Right.
the actual weekend once it got here for people to get in at the last second.
I do know factually as well that there were a multitude of different companies who were asked to bring in as many people as possible for free. So
Wow.
different models.
So the
or-
problem here moving forward is this was a 4-year contract with the city of Las Vegas. So it's going to be there for the next 3 years, no matter what. Now, year 5, that's going to be a huge question mark because with the disaster that this was, I don't know how much better you can make it in 5 years.
Well, we'll know at the end of year 2 because you would assume that if it's working, like both sides will want to get back to the negotiating table and figure out a price. You know, from the F1 side, it's like, well, we want to get as cheap of a rate as we possibly can to use this amount of land. And then for the Vegas side, kind of the same deal. Like you rush to the negotiating table to get something done before all of the numbers come out and everybody's aware of how profitable it is to get the lowest possible rate on either side of the deal. If they don't come to the negotiating table next year, then it's probably not going to happen. One thing that I didn't see that TD put in front of us on our rundown was, and maybe this is worth having it there every year just to see what Heidi Klum wears
or
but,
lack thereof.
Dude, how old is she? 50? Can we get an age check on Heidi Klum? Because she showed up wearing a leather jacket and nothing else.
She's 50.
God
June 1st,
America.
1973, the world was blessed with the birth of Heidi Klum.
Or God bless Germany, wherever the hell she's from, Bulgaria, Bavaria. I don't care. I'll move there.
So now, credit where credit's due. I did go search out some videos on social media of the actual race. The track looked badass. The sphere being in the middle of it all and the different things they can do with it. Like there were parts of this that really, really worked, but there were a lot of parts of it that you just kind of feel bad for people who live in the surrounding area of Las Vegas that rely on the strip for their personal income, because it sounds like a lot of people got effed over in a big way.
I feel like you glossed over Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
And only a leather
talk
jacket.
about Heidi Klum's boobs. Let's just do it.
Well, she was only wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah,
Did you see, was there side boob? Was there front boob?
Yeah,
What-
wait,
You click on the link.
Wait, hang on. You got to click on the link.
It's almost all boob.
You'll understand why we're reacting the way. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So it turns out we're big F1 fans.
Who's the guy she's standing with?
I don't know. There's a guy she's standing with.
Yeah, I didn't notice him until you mentioned, but some long-haired bearded fella.
Yeah, it's like Jason
It's
Momoa.
like a Jason Momoa knockoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Which, by the way, did you see Jason Momoa at all on Saturday Night Live as the host?
I thought he killed it.
I didn't see a single clip.
Absolutely terrible.
I didn't watch the actual episode, just all the social media leading up to it. I
Oh.
thought he slayed
Ugh.
Queen.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You didn't see the episode. You just saw the promoting of it, and you
Yeah.
thought he killed it.
He killed it in that facet
What
of
the
it.
hell is the matter with you,
A lot.
Fletch?
I don't know. No, if there was anything that was funny there, to be quite honest.
I thought SNL was having a little bit of a resurgence. Like they've had a couple good episodes this year.
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even watch some of the skits. They were so cringy.
Damn, I was looking forward to going home and watching.
Oh,
that.
you should watch it. It's
No,
great.
no, yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
You killed me,
Tate, Tate McRae sang every song too.
She's pretty hot.
Well, it was like watching a high school talent show lip sync competition.
Dude, it's just. I mean, I can't take my eyes off your computer.
You are such a hater, TD.
I'm not.
Beyonce sucks. Tate McRae sucks. Who else sucks?
Jason Momoa, apparently, who's Aquaman. Well, Aquaman sucks now, Travis.
Wait,
Lydia Kanja is going to be pissed off at you right now.
I like Jason Momoa.
Lydia Kanja.
I like Aquaman. The Aquaman Jason Momoa movies were awful. Awful. I mean, awful.
I didn't see those either, but the social media look cool.
All right, coming up next, we get back to the Chargers' unthinkable loss on the road to the Packers. Is the honeymoon over for the Raiders? And we'll fill you in on Monday Night Football. Also, a special guest in the 8 o'clock hour. Be glued right where you are. You'll hear from us in just about 5 minutes. Okay, we got to take a quick break.
It is hour number 3 on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Big weekend for Aztecs Hoops. They're coming home from Las Vegas as the champions of the Continental Tire Main Event Tournament. San Diego State stacking up a couple wins against St. Mary's and Washington. Jaden Ledee, the MVP of the tournament. He had 25 points on Friday night against St. Mary's, 34 against Washington. He is near the top of just about every offensive list you can think of in the NFL. Busy Sunday yesterday. Notable scores. Chargers fell to the Packers 23-20. Dolphins take down the Raiders 20-13. Rams took down the Seahawks 17-16. And on Sunday Night Football, TD's Broncos took down the mighty Vikings 21-20. Monday Night Football coming up tonight. It's a good one. Chiefs host the Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch. We will give you a full preview coming up in this hour. This Thanksgiving, Paramount Plus serving up a tasty NFC East matchup when the Cowboys aim for another big win against the rival Commanders. It all kicks off at 4:30 Eastern. The NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
Yeah! Woo! Happy Monday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, Fletch with you. And it's been a busy day already, and it continues to get busier for us because we're going to be joined in studio by a mystery guest. Not really a mystery anymore. Mark Neville is going to be jumping in. We're going to be chatting with him about the basketball tournament coming up later this month. So excited to have Mark
Later
Neville.
this week.
Excuse me, later this week. That's
Brady
right.
Children's
Oh my God, I
Invitational,
keep
Thursday,
forgetting.
Friday. It's Thanksgiving week.
It's Thanksgiving week.
Somehow.
That's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I'm distracted because we have a new friend in studio before we're going to have our old friend, Mark Neville, stop by. We have an antlered punch bowl, okay, is the way I'll describe it. It's a deer. There's a punch bowl attached to its head. If you want to see what we're talking about, Big Rich TD Fletch on Twitter, on Instagram, there's video and photos there. You could also text the show or comment on any of those posts. What we're asking to do is name our new punch bowl. And if you are the winner, if we pick your comment or your text 70470, start your message with team. Well, we're sending you to the Aztecs this weekend. San Diego State taking on Fresno State. One final ride for Brady Hoke as head coach on the Mesa. 7:30 kickoff Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. Senior night for the football team out there. So if you want to win that pair of tickets, all you have to do is have the winning name of our new friend here in studio.
The punnier, the better. There are some strong candidates in the hopper already. So if
good.
you want to win, you're going to have to dig deep.
I didn't realize how much it would help us make friends here at the studio, because there have been a lot of people just stopping by. They see him in the window. They want to stop in. They want to say hello.
Actually,
they have questions. We have answers.
Speaking of which, I'm going to move it so that like we have the camera in front of it, but it's also facing out.
Oh yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
It's a good call. Oh, then that's good. It's a good idea. That way people can really get a full visual of whatever we name this thing here in the next 50 minutes, I guess. We have to come up with the name. We have to decide. We should have had people drop their vote into the hopper here as well.
Oh yeah, from the building.
Yeah, from the building.
I think somehow Rich broke that camera.
Rich broke the camera?
Look at it. Look at StreamYard right now.
Hang on, let me look.
Hang on. What did I do?
Oh, wow. It's frozen. That's why. It's frozen.
Oh, okay. Maybe if I unplug it and plug it back in, Windows 95. Hang on.
Okay. All right. And the camera's unplugged, and now we're plugging it back in. That's what we do here during the show. Everything's fine.
Nobody panic.
Okay, well, while Rich is figuring this out, let's get to some Monday Night Football tonight. We got Super Bowl rematch, Eagles Chiefs, Mahomes, Hurts, Kelsey, Swift. There's actually a Kelsey Swift on both sidelines.
That is true. That is actually factual, unless Taylor Swift is oh my gosh. Unless Taylor Swift is still in Brazil or wherever she's at.
Damn it, you
that
guys look
camera
so
angle.
cool.
Oh my gosh, that camera angle is so great.
That is forever going to be our camera angle now.
It's fantastic.
So again, if you are trying to figure out where to see this, you could also go to YouTube, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on YouTube. We also stream on Twitter, at our website, also at the Sports SD website.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah. Otherwise, YouTube will go.
Yeah.
Some people are writing in Bucky. Some people are just playing off the deer name. Some people are like using the Brady Bowl, Paris on YouTube. How about this one? Somebody came up with Charles Buckley.
I like Charles Buckley a lot.
The big Bukowski.
Wow.
God.
Wow,
Anyways,
wow.
Drop a comment on YouTube or on Twitter, on Instagram. Big Rich TD Fletch.
913 has a red pill, blue pill suggestion. Red pill Shakira, blue pill Heidi Klum.
Oh my gosh. Is that what we do on Wednesdays?
Should we save it?
Yeah.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Jeez.
It's a good
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm taking Shakira any day of the week, tax problems included.
Well, I mean, she's got enough to pay her taxes. She's got to have some left over.
More wild. Like
Shakira?
Yeah. There's like a little bit of like
you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
She might try to murder you.
She's like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Right. Well,
hand-to-hand combat with Shakira.
Also, be listening here in the next 6 minutes. 6 minutes if you want to win a family 4-pack of tickets to Legoland, California, because Legoland Holiday is here. It's presented by Hallmark Channel. You can celebrate now through January 7th with festive characters, shows, food, snow, and more. Visit Legoland.com/California for details, or just keep listening if you want to win tickets.
Let's save the Monday Night Football chat for a little bit later.
Okay.
I want to focus on, and by the way, I'm going to take everybody to Sunday school. Travis and Fletch, they're going to tee up a couple of plays that we have prepared from this weekend of NFL games, and we'll break them down on the show here in just a few minutes. We got those Legoland tickets coming up, but can we replay the sound from Brandon Staley? I mean, my goodness, if you missed this earlier in the show, we played this. This was the press conference that came immediately following the loss to the Green Bay Packers on the road, 23-20 final. And the Chargers defense let up almost 400 yards. And the Chargers defense gave up 50% on third down. And the Chargers defense, they really didn't tackle well in the second half. And the Chargers defense gave up Jordan Love's first ever 300-plus yard passing game. And this is what he had to say about the Chargers defense.
I'm fully responsible, but it was the team's fault. By the way, it's also we don't have good enough passing. Also, I'm not talking to the fans.
Yeah.
It's not my defense.
Weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Golly. Bye.
Dude, Jordan Love torched your defense. That's what happened to your defense.
Jordan Love torched your defense. Jordan Love, who had his best game ever.
And you say we're excellent against the run game? Yeah, Green Bay's starting running back got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really get it. Yeah, they were down to one running back.
It was A.J. Dillon. That was it. Aaron Jones got hurt early in the game.
I look, you know what? Here's what's crazy about me is I hate the conversation about firing coaches. Like it creeps me out, like calling for somebody's job. And don't get me wrong, like I completely understand why you would want to see this guy fired. I completely get it. In fact, look, I've been a part of teams where I'm sure fans wanted me fired. I'm sure fans wanted the whole team fired because we sucked.
I've been part of radio shows where people want me fired.
Yeah. Current ones.
Right. Definitely not.
Awkward.
No, it's a real thing. It's a performance-based industry, and I completely understand where fans come from when they say it. Really, look, the noose is the results, right? Nobody has to do anything or say anything to expedite this process. It's going to happen. Now, maybe based on the fan base's reaction that apparently he's not talking to when he does press. Who is it for?
Yeah.
Trust me, players aren't listening to your press conference, Brandon. I promise you, when I was playing, I was so disinterested in hearing another word from my head coach. I heard from him enough during the practice week. It's not like I was sitting in front of Twitter. Can't wait to see what Belichick says tonight.
Well, exactly right, Rich. You played on a team. You played. I mean, you would go into the locker room. Does he expect that the team's supposed to tune in to the press conference if they want to hear from their head coach? The press conference is for the fans.
That's it.
That's it. The end. I'm not talking to the fans. Who the hell are you talking to?
It's so strange. All of this is so strange. Look, so like I said, the noose will be the results. And it's unfortunate that the results aren't there because, look, Brandon Staley, this isn't for lack of effort. I don't think this guy isn't. It's not like he's on vacation. Yeah, I think he's showing up to work every day. I think he's honestly putting in a hard day's effort to try to figure this out. He's just not.
Here's the problem. That soundbite sounded to me like he was speaking directly to people who are in charge of firing him. So he knows that the turkey boiler that's underneath his seat right now is up to an all-time high. And he knows that there's going to be issues, and maybe there's going to be a time coming down the block here where he's getting a phone call that says, Brandon, pack your bags, you're done. Now, to me, that was him saying, look, it's not just our defense, the defense that I'm in charge of, the defense that statistically is second worst in all of football this season, the defense that, by the numbers, since I've taken over as head coach, has given up the third most points in the NFL. Like, he was supposed to come in and have the defense not be the issue. The defense has been all the issues. And him in that one soundbite, saying, look, the defense isn't why we lost today. The defense is blah, blah, blah. Jordan Love has done nothing all year long. Jordan Love went over 300 yards against you, your defense.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how gross a turkey would be if you just boiled it?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Boil it in oil.
Well, that would be frying.
Now, what you can do, I guess, if you boil the turkey for long enough, you could use the stock to make a delicious soup, but still better ways to do it.
Boiled turkey. My God. Let's do it right now. Caller number 7. You want to go to Legoland Holiday, 844-570-1360 is the number you call. Caller number 7, and you're going to get a family 4-pack of tickets. Legoland Holiday, presented by Hallmark Channel.
Caller number 5, 844-570-1360. Let's hit a little halftime, and then I'll take you to Sunday school on the other side.
Well, boys, let's start with Aztecs Hoops. Big weekend for them out in Las Vegas as the champions of the Continental Tire main event tournament. San Diego State stacking up wins against St. Mary's and Washington on Friday night, right after they beat St. Mary's. That was a huge game for them. In the KenPom rankings, they went from 31st in the country to 15th just based on that one game. I haven't checked the standings this morning. The new AP poll will be released later on today. I would expect San Diego State to be in the top 25. I would also expect that when the committee releases its National Player of the Week, there's going to be a familiar name at the top. It's going to be Jaden Ledee, who poured in 24 against St. Mary's Friday night, 34 last night against Washington. He had a monster weekend. Over in the NFL, it was a busy Sunday yesterday. Notable scores. Chargers fell to the Packers 23-20. We've been talking about that one a lot. Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13. The 49ers did a little something at home against Tampa Bay. Rams took down the Seahawks 17-16 on Sunday Night Football. TD's Broncos, is this 4 games in a row now?
That is 4
The Broncos
games
have won
in a row.
4 straight. They are second place in the AFC
Playoff
West.
caliber team.
We're talking Super Bowl. Let's cook. Let's ride.
Let's get ahead of our skis a little bit there, but you know, I mean, they're in the hunt, which is incredible.
You do an excellent turkey gobble, perhaps the best turkey gobble I've ever heard.
Can I hear fantastic turkey gobble? Some people say it's better than they've ever heard, better than real turkeys.
Can I hear your Bronco neigh?
Oh my God!
Oh, can you do a horse whinny?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's not bad. Give me that whinny. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, whinny, horse whinny, or
it's a little Scooby Doo.
Or braying.
Give it to me.
Or is it baying? It's
baying. It's pretty good. I think it'd pass. Not as good as your turkey gobble.
Drop your pants. Hop on one leg. What else can we get him to
dance?
Take a lap.
Take a lap right
hey,
now.
Fletch, when you get a chance, little gospel music.
That's right.
We got to take everyone to church.
That's right, because it's right. We do have to take them to church. We got to school them a little bit here because it was Sunday yesterday, which means it is time for Sunday school. He's typing frantically.
Yes.
What do we got?
Watching on YouTube, leave in the comments your name. I know. Every week, it's fine.
You guys don't like this one?
I guess it's a little sudden. You know what? It does kind of feel like that's the piano player playing as you're walking in to the chapel.
Type in gospel chorus.
Yes,
like
gospel choir.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
We need like a Southern Methodist. Like,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hands in the air. Everybody's standing. Everybody's dancing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, bring us to Sunday school. Here it is. He's gonna do it this time. No, I feel it. There's no way he screws this up.
It's not that good. It's just not that good.
Fourth week in a row.
Well, is it better than the soundtrack to Halo?
Yeah.
What?
Remember that thing?
That was awesome.
Absolute maniac.
It was cool, I guess. And
come on,
just whatever you got. Just we'll play it and we'll roll with it. Doesn't matter what it is.
This is what you want.
And we got to break down what happened. We got to take you to Sunday school. Now, the Chargers game, the Chargers took a fourth quarter lead. With this Keelan Allen touchdown reception, Chargers would later lose the game.
What was the name of the wide receiver?
Did I not say Keelan Allen?
It's a Keelan.
I do it every time I say his name. To my defense, Caleb has a friend named Keelan. I don't know why that name rolls off first, but Keenan Allen.
Keelan the Buck.
Yes, that's right. But it was a great play. Here's what that play sounded like.
Yeah, this was a really good concept, and honestly, there's like one or two quarterbacks in the NFL who can make this throw. Probably Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen can make this throw, but Justin Herbert, he has such an insanely strong arm. So what this is called is a scissors concept. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right.
I'm in.
Too late. I'm there.
Like this play.
So the Chargers are in 2-by-2 formation. You got two receivers to the right side. You got two receivers to Justin Herbert's left side. And so Keenan Allen, he's the inside receiver. Quentin Johnston's the outside receiver. And they basically cross each other in a scissor pattern downfield. Again, stop looking at me that way.
Give me the gobble.
They're scissoring. Look, the point is, Johnston goes to the corner of the end zone on a corner route. Keenan Allen runs a post route toward the goal post, and he's open against quarters coverage, which means that the defense is dropping four defensive backs deep into the end zone, and Justin Herbert just finds a seam, and he throws an absolute smoking heater to Keenan Allen for the score.
Next up, Rich Ornberger's wet dream, a big man offensive touchdown.
Get an amen.
How about this with the Tennessee Titans? Jeffrey Simmons gets a receiving touchdown. He's generally a defensive lineman, but here he plays wide receiver. There's something special about big men touchdowns, especially when they finish it off with the gritty.
Brings a tear to my eye. Yeah. So Jeffrey Simmons is one of the greatest athletes on the Tennessee Titans. He weighs 315 pounds. He's one of their most dominant defensive players, but they get him in the backfield at H-back. Short motion to the right side of the formation. Tight end stays in block. So does the fullback. It's like an eight-man protection, and there's only two receivers running routes, a tight end, and Simmons on the goal line just running a little flat route out there. He's got man coverage with the defensive back who actually sells out to try to keep him out of the end zone. But this big man, he catches the ball and he lumbers his way over the goal line for the score.
Can either of you guys do the gritty?
No, I can't. I've
There it
tried.
is.
I've tried. I can't do it.
That's not bad, Rich.
I can't do it. Yeah, Rich has got some moves.
Dude, I will tear a dance floor apart. And I'll tell you right now, if I scored like Jeffrey Simmons did in this game, oh my God, I'd be doing a lot more than gritty.
Nudity.
Dude, full blown, full frontal. It would be unbelievable.
The NFL would fine away your entire career earnings.
It's
and it
right.
would be
It'd be worth it. Absolutely worth it. The late game yesterday, the night game, the Broncos.
Lamb Russ Cook.
Yeah, trailing 20-15. Russell Wilson had to play hero. There was only about a minute left, maybe a minute 10.
Minute 9.
He had to throw up a prayer. He had to throw it up to the heavens. Cortland Sutton in the end zone to take the lead. Broncos take a 21-20 lead.
All right, so this was a really, really great play designed by Sean Payton and great execution by Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. The reason why I include him in the conversation, number 10, Jerry Jeudy, is because he was the decoy route here. Okay, so it is 1st and 10, and they're at the, what would you call it? I guess the 16-yard line of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
And what you have is a corner route with just a deep out or comeback route ran by Jeudy in front of it. So one route to the pylon, one route to the corner of the end zone, again, against that quarter's defense. So it puts the defense in a bind. When you have two defensive backs playing zones to that side of the field, one of them has to step up and take the low man near the pylon. One of them has to defend the corner of the end zone. Well, guess what? Nobody defended Cortland Sutton. So that defensive back to that side made the wrong choice. Really, there's no right choice. And the Denver Broncos get in for a score. Okay. Well done, you guys. There it is.
Took him to Sunday school.
We did it. We did it. That felt good.
It felt real good. I mean, I feel better.
The music has really grown on me.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah.
You just have to believe.
I've been watching the video this entire time, and the passion that this woman is singing with. I've never felt that way about anything in my entire life.
Well, except maybe Brock Purdy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, see, it happens. It happens.
Did you guys see he had a perfect passer rating yesterday?
You
You mentioned it. You sent us a text saying, "Aren't you proud of me that I didn't send a text talking about his perfect passer rating?"
Well, weren't you?
that was the text.
That's the text.
That's what you guys said when we were texting also. But I was just alerting you that I've been so good about not bragging.
You are that guy. You are that guy in the group text. You are that guy in the group text.
No.
But it's okay. We
Did you see the 76-yard touchdown pass? That's Brandon Ayuk.
You did see
What about George Kittle? He scored a touchdown too.
Sweet God. Here we go.
Christian McCaffrey had one.
The text line is filling up with names for our new punch bowl. If you don't know what we're talking about, go to Twitter or go to Instagram, Big Rich TD Fletch. You can see what we're talking about. Travis went to Home Goods. He came home with an antlered, bespectacled punch bowl.
Yeah.
You'll understand when you see it. We need a name for this thing.
Mm-hmm.
We need a name for this thing. So text us 70470. Start your message with team, weigh in that way, or comment on YouTube, Big Rich TD and Fletch, or on Instagram or Twitter, Big Rich TD Fletch. And you can win a pair of tickets to go see the San Diego State Aztecs playing their final home game against Fresno State, senior night, Snapdragon Stadium this weekend. Coming up next, Monday Nighter, we got the Super Bowl rematch. We get into it on the other side. But first, NBA season and the NFL season have kicked off and tipped off, respectively. And if you're not on the Underdog Fantasy app, what are you doing? You got to download this app. It is the best way to play along. It's fantasy, but you can win real money. So the pick'em game works this way on Underdog Fantasy. You pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they're going to go lower or higher on their stats, then watch these games. Legal in California, ton of money, or I should say ton of fun to play along, and you can win real money while you're watching your favorite team. I play this every single primetime game, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night in the NFL. I've been doing a little bit with the NBA as well. Tons of fun there. You're going to just guess higher or lower on fantasy stats or passing yardage or receptions or even targets sometimes. It is the best. Okay, so UnderdogFantasy.com. Download the Underdog Fantasy app, super user friendly. And what you got to do is sign up with promo code XTRA. Okay. When you do that, first deposit will be doubled up to $100, plus new customers will have a mystery special pick live in their Pick'em lobby. Again, that is a minimum deposit of $10 or more. It'll be doubled up to $100 plus that special pick in the Pick'em lobby. Must be 18 plus, present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or ncpgambling.org.
pair of Aztecs football tickets to give away. They're going to be taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs this Saturday over at Snapdragon Stadium. Celebrate senior night with the Aztecs. The first 10,000 fans get an SDSU beanie. Tickets and info at goaztecs.com. And we're giving them away by naming our punch bowl, our friend, our pal.
I know.
I like Rich Hornberger.
I do like that as well. So the 913 text in that one, and that might get confusing though.
I know
if we have Rich Hornberger and Rich Ornberger.
So now tell me this: does whatever we're gonna name him get its own camera the rest of the life of this show?
I feel like that it should be like in case you want to check in. Then what we could do is have a live feed, and if people, go by the punch bowl, we could turn on the camera to see what's happening.
Second thing, if we release a 2024 calendar, which has been in the talks,
okay, we got to hurry.
How much NSFW content is going to be with that?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, the majority of the holidays. O&D for sure.
Oh yeah. Any month that starts with D, is going to be involved.
Is there more than one?
I think it's a good question.
December.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only one. Yep.
That is the
I mean, October starts with O.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. I'm going to be a sexy nurse. And that skirt's just 1 inch too short, isn't it? Thanks to SDFatLoss.com.
Yes, that's right. That's right. 100% correct.
All right. So Monday Night Football, we got a hell of a matchup. Philadelphia Eagles heading to Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are favored 2.5 points here, defending their home turf. You can make the argument that the Eagles have looked better over the course of the season than the Chiefs have had at times. And then you certainly can make the same argument for the Chiefs. This feels about as even a matchup as you could have possibly hoped for. When the schedule makers came out with this one, week 11 matchup between the Chiefs and the Eagles who met in the Super Bowl, they were hoping that they would both be at the top of their conferences. And look at them. They absolutely are.
That Chiefs defense is for real. Best defense that Patrick Mahomes has had, that's for sure. And it's a good thing because I don't think the offense is quite up to par as it's been the past several seasons, but they ain't bad. And then you have the X factor. You have Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way to win.
Yep. He is the best, in my opinion, the best quarterback playing football right now. And I know I'm Brock Purdy.
But I was like, turn your mic off, man.
But he's just special. He's different. He finds ways to win that, look, we got used to saying this about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady during their run, Aaron Rodgers when healthy. But when there's a game where you need your quarterback to step up and get you the W, he's capable of doing that. And they're probably less than a handful of guys who can really do that in the NFL. But on the other side, again, basically everything I could say for the Chiefs, you can say for the Philadelphia Eagles because Jalen Hurts is that guy too. He's him.
And you mentioned it earlier, Rich, and you were spot on. Fantasy points given up to tight ends by the Philadelphia Eagles have been through the roof this year, double digits in all but 2 games. So when you look at what the Eagles have done, they have not been able to defend the tight end position. And who is the best tight end in football other than George Kittle? Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're crazy.
Let's
reel it in. Your San Francisco 49er fandom, Fletch, knows no bounds.
They shouldn't be allowed to be good because it really messes with me.
It does. You're a different person on the other side of a weekend where they win.
Yeah.
You're damn near intolerable, but
also if they lose,
so
damn near intolerable. Yeah.
Between Aztecs basketball,
damn near intolerable.
who I'm a diehard fan of this Aztecs basketball program, and between 49ers football, they're both too good right now. Someone needs to take me down a peg.
What?
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible
right.
to make
Somebody
happen.
needs to steal his dog Brock.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry.
the hell, man? Don't joke about that.
I'm just saying. I think that would help. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, look, the Eagles, they've got studs up front on their offensive line. They have studs up front on their front seven defensively. I guess that's where the war of the trenches, both sides of the ball. You could look at the Chiefs offensive line and say, yeah, there have been some issues this season. It hasn't been perfect. The Chiefs early this season also struggled connecting with their receivers, or I should say Patrick Mahomes struggled connecting with his receivers early this season. Since then, though,
Rashee Rice, dude,
majority of Rashee Rice. He's one of, I think he's number 18 in the league in yards per route ran in the NFL. Like, he gets downfield in a hurry and he catches footballs for this offense.
It's crazy when you see that flip switch, right? With a wide receiver and a quarterback when they get on the same page. Like, it happened with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers in year 2, and you're like, oh my God, that's special. That's different. It's starting to happen with Patrick Mahomes and yet another receiver after he went through it with Tyreek Hill. Now Rashee Rice, you look at his numbers over the last few weeks, the dude is becoming one of the better wide receivers in football as a rookie.
Well, I mean, there's a common denominator there, though.
Patty Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, one, I think anybody who's going to play with Patrick Mahomes, their game is going to be elevated. You're playing with a guy who's at the tippy top, man. You have to step up. And number two, I mean, he just makes guys better.
Yep, he absolutely does. Andy Reid also makes teams better after bye weeks. He is 31-6 in his career games following byes. This is 15 days he's had to prepare for the Philadelphia Eagles on prime time, because remember, you get the extra day with Monday Night Football.
He's a cheat code.
Now, the Chiefs, they've struggled at times offensively, and we talked about that a little bit here, but the Philadelphia Eagles defense, they ranked 28th against the pass. Okay, they give up 257 yards per game.
It's kind of shocking because you look at the team that went to the Super Bowl last year and you talk about that defense. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can imagine they were not 28th in the league against anything.
No.
Like, that defense was as key a part of getting them to the Super Bowl as the tush push was.
Yeah.
They've given up 19 passing touchdowns this season. It's third worst in the NFL.
And just think about that game against Sam Howell. Like, the defense, like Sam Howell made that defense look like Swiss cheese because it was holy.
Wait,
take a lap.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, okay, finally. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. What?
We got to go to commercial break first because we have in-studio guests.
Damn it.
Oh,
He's right.
So,
You
we'll
owe
go
us
to
a lap.
break, and then you do.
You owe
Okay.
us a damn lap.
Wait, I can go in there and press a button. Take a lap.
Yeah. He's taking a lap. I bet he wish he had some wheels instead of running. And with Toyota, or your San Diego County Toyota dealers, you could get yourself a set of wheels. They got new trucks arriving daily. Your Toyota dealer, they'll be available to you right now, including the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, you should hurry into your San Diego County Toyota dealer today. They certainly make it easy. They made it easy for me. Look, I talk about customer service with any brand that I associate with. It's the most important thing to me. I honestly, products, they're essential. You're going to buy them from different people, but the people who you buy them from matter the most. And the feeling that I had driving away from the lot when I bought my 4Runner from a San Diego County Toyota dealer was one that I made the right choice. And isn't that a good feeling? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've walked away from a transaction and I'm like, you know what? That didn't feel good. I feel like they got one over on me, or geez, that didn't feel quite right and I can't put my finger on it. No such thing over at San Diego County. final lap here and a final couple of shows before the Thanksgiving holiday, which reminds me, if you haven't yet, you need to head to this website, RadyChildren'sInvitational.com. They still have general admission tickets left. $60 for 2-day pass, $35 per day. It's Rady Children's Invitational. It's a men's college basketball tournament here in San Diego, the first ever. It's going to be at Lime Tree Arena on the campus over at UC San Diego. This field includes Iowa, USC, Seton Hall, Oklahoma, and in studio with us right now, Mark Neville, Brian Howman. Guys, we're pumped about this.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, college basketball is big in San Diego. Now we have our own tournament. Okay.
Teams are getting here tomorrow. We're fired up about this.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's coming.
Brian's Bash. This is what I call it. It's 5
ball
years.
week. It's ball week.
It is ball week. We have bowl week for the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. Well, it's ball week for the Rady Children's
Mark, what does this
Invitational.
mean to you? Because you've been involved with the Redcoats, with the Holiday Bowl for forever. I mean, it's
I had hair. It was brown.
and then
It
it
was
turned
great.
gray. And then
Hair's overrated. We all know that, Mark.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Yep.
To another man
Yeah,
on the
misery
team over
loves
there.
company.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
You got a good head for a bald head. I've always meant to say that to you. You really do.
Huh?
You wear it well.
Hey, well, let's
Always?
go have a drink later. It'll be great.
Just you what, you handsome devil.
Wait,
I'll take you up on
Wait,
it.
are you guys dating?
Okay, could you and Brian leave the studio? TD,
Give you guys a
could you
minute?
please just give us a second? All right, we're
Wow.
catching up. We're old friends.
Wow.
No, but it is true.
I'm
We're old
blushing.
friends
I'm
from
blushing.
the years I've been on the broadcast with the Holiday Bowl. And Mark, you've done such a great job with that game. Everybody in town knows that. This game special to you? More special? Less special? Is it like picking between children?
Well, I'll say I love college basketball.
Yeah.
First and foremost. Number two, Sports San Diego, our organization, we're all about driving tourism through sports. So this is 5 years in the making. I think Brian holds the record for our organization for the longest chairmanship for the Rady Children's Invitational. We've been working on this for 5 years, and it's finally
Wow.
here. It's really surreal. And we want all of San Diego to come. We have people coming from 29 different states for this event.
No way.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
And if they want to go, they want to get tickets, RadyChildren'sInvitational.com.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go.
By the way, and even if they can't come, let's say, I'm out of town or whatever, you can still go to RadyChildren'sInvitational.com, and there will be an opportunity to buy a shirt that will be all the net proceeds go to Rady Children's Hospital.
Okay. I'm so glad you brought that up because I commented on it when you guys walked through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, Mark wearing the polos for the Rady Children Invitational. You got an awesome logo. You got the palm tree. You got the basketball that looks like the San Diego sun setting over the Pacific. You got the Coronado Bridge, a big wave breaking. Who's responsible? Natalie?
What?
Natalie Schneck.
Natalie Schneck.
Way to go, Natalie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Big round of
bravo.
applause, Natalie.
RadyInvitational.com for tickets, but also to check out Natalie's logo. She
Yeah.
did a fantastic job. Some people say it's the best. I say
Right.
it's the best.
It's
I've always said it's the best.
Natalie's sweater has those elbow patches on it, which elevates it to very high end.
I've got 2 sports jackets with elbow patches, and every single time I wear it, my IQ is boosted by 10 points.
What is it for? Is it like,
Mandatory.
are they like you fall or something? And you
It's for
slip on the ice?
It's for really smart people, like when you put your elbow on a desk and then you put your fist under
That's
your
right.
You
chin.
weren't supposed to put your elbow on a table.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
point.
Hang on.
Thank you, Brian.
Again,
Well,
another
maybe-
reason why I need you and TD to leave the studio, Brian.
Neanderthal.
How dare you?
Well, Brian, Mark, before you guys leave, Rady Children's Hospital is a big part of this show. Every single year we do the Rady Children's Give-a-thon. So
right.
a certain amount of the money is going to Rady Children's Hospital. Tell us about the connection between the two.
Oh, I mean, so with Rady Children's Invitation or Hospital, it's setting this event apart from any other tournament in the country. Number one, we're in San Diego, the best place in the country, right? Number two, we're going to be nationally televised on Fox. We got FS1, both games on Thursday are on FS1, both games Friday are on Fox broadcast television. And then we have a great field of teams. But what is just icing on the cake is the fact that Rady Children's Hospital is a part of it. Wonderful people, Steve Jennings, Patrick Frias, their team is amazing. We want to help them. We want to help, provide national visibility and all the great things. And and that Rady Children's Hospital does. We've all had, I mean, every family in San Diego has had some experience with them.
Yep.
I even had a surgery there about 20 years ago or so. But they're wonderful. My son just had a procedure there earlier this year.
Yep.
And it's awesome. And so, yeah, please come out. Some of the proceeds from ticket sales go to Rady Children's Hospital. We have that premium item that is on our website right now that you could also buy at the tournament. So go to RadyChildren'sInvitational.com and check it all out. It's going to be amazing. And I will say, Brian has done an incredible job as chair. Huge.
Yep.
Kudos to Brian.
Get right on that, Mike. I have a very important question for you. Nerves leading up to this one. Is the hay in the barn, or there's still so many boxes that need to be checked for you, Brian?
Hay is in the barn. It is perfectly stacked. There's just enough. No, we're excited. The teams come in tomorrow. We have absolutely perfect San Diego weather. These guys are touching down from Iowa and Oklahoma and New Jersey, and they're going to get their minds blown by what a beautiful city they're going to play basketball in. Couldn't be better.
Yeah. Well, we're pumped, and it's a great venue, that Lion Tree Arena on the campus of UC San Diego.
If you've not been in Lion Tree Arena, I actually just went there on Saturday for the game against Navy.
I've seen pictures only, and I saw the renderings prior to them building, and then I seen the pictures since it's open. It's gorgeous,
and it sets up for an event. We've done the DirecTV Holiday Bowl for 44 years, and we pride ourselves on the experience we provide the fans. We're doing the same thing for this. So when you show up, you come in through the gates, you're going to have a fan zone there with food trucks and games and entertainment.
Oh, that's
there'll be
awesome.
a DJ playing there on Thursday. There'll be live band playing up there on Friday. You can do that in between games. You got inside. We got pretty fun entertainment. Red Panda. Have you ever heard of Red Panda?
Dude, she throws the plate. She rides the unicycle.
10-foot.
Dude, Red Panda is my favorite.
Okay, hold it.
Whoa.
Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll here?
Drum roll. Come on.
Hang on. Wait for the drum roll. It's so important. He may
throwing them off.
He
Here we
may
go.
accidentally play gospel
Here we go.
music. We were playing.
Okay, here we go. Halftime entertainment. Red Panda.
That's breaking news.
Bring it
Big
up.
Rich, TD and Fletch.
Holy smokes.
That is a Big Rich, TD and Fletch exclusive.
You're only going to get that here. Things kick off
Thank you,
12
guys.
o'clock on Thursday, 12:30 on Friday.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Okay, opening day matchups. Oklahoma taking on Iowa. That's a 12 p.m. tip, followed by Seton Hall, USC at 2:30. Again, it's the Rady Children's Invitational. Tickets available, RadyChildren'sInvitational.com. General admission for both days, $60. One day pass, $35 per day. I'm going to be in the fan zone, rubbing Mark Neville's head. I owe him a drink. It's going to be the best.
Okay, I'm not going anymore. I'm out.
Awkward, but beautiful.
You stop it. I'm gonna. If you don't give me a polo, I'm taking yours. Gosh, who do we thank today, Fletch?
We thank everybody who jumped on the stream or on the text line today, helping us to name our new friend here in studio. We haven't decided yet.
No. We'll announce. We'll pick the winner after the show. We'll announce it tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you to Brian and Mark for coming in. Rady Children's Invitational.
And Natalie, thank you.
And
Yeah.
Natalie,
And
of course,
Natalie.
the designer.
Yep.
Thank you to Brady Hoke, who joined the show. And thank you to Jaden Ledee, Aztecs power forward, who scored a bunch of points this weekend. He is the ESPN National Player of the Week.
Wow.
Congrats to Jaden with the San Diego State Aztecs. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right,
Yeah.
Colin Coward and the Herd coming up next. San Diego Sports 760.